This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Hey there, kids. Do you want to hear a show where a bunch of guys sit around in a comic book store and talk about comics and lifestyle choices, other goofy things and shenanigans they get up to? Then
When have we ever talked about comics? Usually it's people sitting on my lap and riding the struggle bus.
That's true. It's mostly shenanigans. But occasionally we talk about comics. And if you like any of those things, comics, shenanigans, Devin's lap, then you need to check out Snake Oil Comics with me, Travis, and my beautiful co-host, Big Dev.
Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and snakeoilcomics.com.
It's about comic books and movies, growing up with Rokusuke, Superman before Zack Snyder ruined him. Michael Keaton was the best Batman, while Christian Bale is just deadpan. No one remembers the other ones. Jeff defends Aquaman, Blake's just not listening. What? Jason impersonates Michael Keaton.
Some people just want to watch World Buzz.
Jeff nails another draft day.
Nailed
Blake's
it.
top 5 has 98.
I got
Jason
one more.
just loves him some Kevin James.
Fucking Kevin James.
It's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's a history of bad.
So bad.
It's a history of bad ideas. It's a history of bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's a history of bad. LaCroix. It's a history of bad ideas. Podcast.
Welcome to the History of Bad Ideas, episode number 120. I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
I got a fever. And the only cure is more Dr. Bednar.
Dr. Bednar is in the room. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you. I am glad to be here again.
You're a doctor of love, is what I've heard.
Calling Dr. Love.
Yeah,
I don't know that song.
amongst other things.
Well, welcome, Doctor. I'm glad you're back.
As a local resident HOBI musician and Game of Thrones expert.
And just to let you know, any medical advice that Dr. Bednar states tonight, we cannot endorse. He does not endorse it. Please consult your local medical doctor if you have an issue. We'll be taking Love Lines calls here soon.
Or Dr. Phil. You can ask Dr. Phil for advice.
I feel like Dr. Bednar has better credentials than Dr. Phil.
I would just recommend that you drink heavily.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it works.
And Pez.
I got a growler. I'm trying to finish it tonight.
That's why you guys are all healthy. You got alcohol and Pez. It's actually a combination that keeps the heart going.
It's kind of like Coke. Coca-Cola, that is.
Right, yes.
And what is that? The things that fizz up and that? The snap
Mentos?
rocks?
Soda cap.
Soda caps? What is it?
Pop Rocks is
1940?
what you're thinking
Pop
of.
Rocks.
Pop
I thought
Rocks.
the soda caps, didn't it? Wasn't it that Willy Wonka goofy thing, the soda caps?
Hi, 1945 called.
Yeah, know what I'm talking about.
Soda caps are nasty, but that's not what Jason's referring to.
They fizz, but you know they're not Pop Rocks.
Pop Rocks is what I'm talking about.
Coke and Pop Rocks. You know what killed Mikey?
Okay.
Allegedly?
It didn't. He's alive. Over there.
Yeah, Pop Rocks.
Anyone under 40, I'm sorry for those references, you millennials. Damn you. But thanks for listening, millennials.
Google it.
Speaking of Google, we are on Google Play. They just came out with podcast on their Google Play, and we're one of the first couple thousands on there. Soon in the next 2 weeks, everybody will be on.
You spoiled it. You should have said we're one of the first to be on there.
Okay, sorry. Let's do that again.
Okay.
We're one of the first.
From the city of Cincinnati to beyond.
Google Play. So for your Android listeners, you can now listen to it on that and Stitcher.
So I can Google myself now.
Well, you can always Google yourself, and we're on it. But
Well, I
now
always
you
used
could
to
actually
Google
listen-
myself, but now I can actually look our podcast
You
up
can
on Android.
listen to yourself
Google.
after you've been Googled.
We're also on.
Or I can Google myself while we're listening.
Sounds like kind of dirty that you're Googling yourself. Hand check.
Google playing myself.
Yeah. We're also for you British listeners. Hello, wankos. We're on
Hello,
nerdly.
Becca!
We're on nerdly.co.uk. And for you American ones, we're on weebiegeekspc.com. So check those two guys out.
Yep.
Along with many, many, many networks. Tangent Bound Network, Good job, Mark. Danger Entertainment. Good job, Michael Lowell. Leo.
Michelle Leal.
That's who it is. I always
Danger
miss
Entertainment.
Wicked Radio.
Wicked Radio with Dev. So yeah, just a couple of them.
Big Dev
Big
to
Dev.
you.
Big Dev. No longer on musings. Still waiting to be from the belly of the beast, though. Still waiting, Dame. So thanks for listening, though, everybody. And for new people new to the show, we have Dr. Bednar. He's been on it several times. He did our theme music. Rumor has it you had a draft day theme, but Henno beat you out for it. Just saying.
You guys make the call on what you determine as music. If we go by what Jason bases his favorites on, I can see how Henno's song made it on.
Oh! A warning shot across the bow.
That was not a warning shot.
No, that was right in the crosshairs.
Hey, Canadian co-floppy Henno, fuck you! That's what that was. Henno, can't wait till you come on our show in Cincinnati.
We've still got Henno and I apparently still have a music off or day.
Henno works out.
Yeah, let's have a HOBI music off.
No.
Did you know Henno is going to be in Cincinnati next year? And he's coming on our show. I'm being serious. So you're going to have to come on that show.
Yes, I am.
We're going to do a pay-per-view UFC fight. Instead of fighting, you're just going to play guitars.
Awesome.
Dueling banjos.
And the best part is, I'm going to be the singer.
Oh,
God.
We all lose.
Oh, you know what? I'm totally already got something scheduled that day.
We'll find a dime. We'll find a time. We'll come to you.
What day was that again?
2017.
Doctor, do you listen to, or do you watch Fear the Walking Dead?
I have caught up on the 2 episodes.
Okay.
And after listening to your lamenting it last week, I think I am currently now hate watching it.
My ringing endorsement of it.
Well, okay, I can see how you got that from the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad, like epically bad, I thought. But this most recent one was at least a little better. Though, of course,
I love this episode.
It was better.
I really liked it.
What I didn't like about it was when you finally got the shock scene where the kid turns.
Yes.
The little girl.
Something like it cuts away. It doesn't like. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Like,
It
they
wasn't
don't
as
show.
gruesome as the Walking Dead is. They
No,
actually
the
cut
Walking
away
Dead
from
allows it to be very
Have
gruesome.
they shown, though, kids turn into zombies on The Walking Dead?
No, but they showed people's throats get slit and then put into tubs. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty graphic.
Yeah, the kids thing is kind of freaks me out.
But
though.
not little kids like chewing
yeah,
off
they
their
did.
mama's faces.
Herschel's
Carol's daughter. Well, they show her stumbling out of the barn.
Yeah, she comes out of the barn and
Yeah, that's true.
gets her head lopped off, right? Or at least gets shot.
Yeah,
I
because they
don't remember.
spent 6 or 8 episodes looking for this girl that had no shot of surviving.
Right.
Yeah, let's just keep looking.
We wonder where she is in the big barn that nobody goes into.
I don't know, if we stay on the farm, I think she'll run into us. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herschel's like, yeah, you guys are fine to stay here. You see that barn? Don't go in there. Nothing's in there.
Don't go in there.
Whatever
Nothing's
you
in there.
do, stay out of the barn.
We got rabid horses in there. Just don't go in there.
So this is the village.
Yes, I like the village.
They could have had a better name for the
Woods?
shed as opposed
that's
to
right.
the shed you shall not go.
Well, you know, in their defense, it was M. Night Shyamalan that was writing it. So that was about his peak.
Oh, he wrote that episode, huh? That's why we spent 8 episodes of nothing happening.
Walking Dead.
And then
yes.
at the end,
It
what
was the
happens was exactly
trees.
what we thought it
What
was.
we all figured it was going to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
By episode 2, we're all like, I think she's in there. We should probably look in there. Nah, it's okay. Let's not.
Actually, it's got to be. The whole thing's got to be M. Night Shyamalan, right? They all see dead people through The Walking Dead. I mean, it's
Oh, I see what you did there.
all. See,
But was he the savior that his writing will save the world? Oh, I'm sorry, that was Lady in the Water. That was right.
good God.
Hey, I'm not saying I have an ego, but my writing saves the world. Nope. No, it doesn't.
Didn't save that movie.
So everybody go watch Lady in the Water.
Great
We're
film.
going to have a in-depth discussion of it.
Never.
Oh.
The same time that I sing with Henno, that's when that's happening. So, Blake, did you like this episode of Fear?
Yeah, I did. I think it advanced the theory of just exactly what. Who's the African American guy?
Stained.
Stain. Stan, yeah, it kind of like pushes his agenda forward. Like, what is his agenda as the Nicaraguan torturer guy, kept trying to pull from him. And it's like, what do you mean a $10 million boat? You didn't say my $10 million boat. Although I wouldn't share that information with the bad guy. I would have logged that in my head.
Bad, why would you be sitting there saying,
exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't call him out on it.
figuring you out.
I would try and keep that secret. But I'm sure he did something with the semi-automatic AK-47, or I believe what he found in the chest and all the maps to Mexico, which reminded me of the comment that you thought that guy was a drug dealer. Maybe he's actually a human trafficker.
Ooh, I like that
kind of guy, and that's why
he's got 8 people.
He's got 8 people. He's bringing them along, as the Nicaraguan torturer guy kept asking. So, why do you bring us along? Well, we got plenty. Well, we have plenty of water, and you're a pretty good fisherman. Okay, that's a lame answer.
But then why would he reject having the kid come on board near the end?
That's dead weight. Oh, that's good. I have no idea. Or maybe he's still looking to pick up a drug score. Who knows?
I'm going to say that the writers probably don't know either. So
yeah,
you're basing it on what Hobie theories come out this episode.
What's Hobie saying this week? I know they still hate us. It's okay. We're going to win them over. Jason liked this last episode.
Or that big boat that was trailing him was actually his buddies. Because you see him on a sat phone at the end there.
Yeah. I did like how he's like...
Because you're trailing them, they pull into port, that little island there. You're going to go chase them down, right?
Yeah, my thought was, like, how did you not see them? Like, they're right there on an island. Go attack them, like the bad guy.
Yeah, what's the best time to attack a ship? When it's moored on a pier?
Mm-hmm. My thought was, though, the Nicaraguan guy's like, yeah, he's asking all these questions. Stan's like, Stan or whatever. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, well, let's not answer those. Oh, meanwhile, I'm going to be on the island for 3 hours. Don't look in anything on the boat. Don't worry about it.
Well, he had it locked and hidden away.
Bullshit. Come on.
Yeah, everybody knows you're going to go through the shit.
Yeah. So, it got...
Well, he had to go find a cup of coffee in a diner on the island. I mean, that's... You had to go hang out in the diner.
And I would be living on that island all day long. I don't care if there's a tourist thing over there. You can get them one by one. Like the kid was doing, Seth. Yeah. He was knocking them out with the pickaxe. You could handle it. Because they're not all, in theory, they're not all going to show up at your fence at one time. It's not like the prison when they're just like, hey, there's 1,000 zombies down there. That's fine. They're fine. Just let them go. No, why don't you kill some of them? Well, we killed 3 today.
Yeah, but the whole thing about being an island, you always got to worry about who's coming on a boat.
You still have the high ground, though. And they were well prepared. I would have no issue with that.
Yeah.
And the zombies, do they have nautical skills?
No, they just float until they're brought up on shore. Then they stand up and start walking.
So then I'm not worried about the zombies coming on a boat.
No, but you're worried about the bad guys, the other people on the boats.
Yeah, bad guys.
And if you're really worried, just blow up the pier.
So again, it's the zombies are really have nothing to do with the story. It's just people being dicks to other people.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah. But it's just they make really...
just like The Walking Dead.
They make really bad decisions in this show, and that's what annoys me. And
that's how it works.
Well, it is earlier on in the apocalypse at this stage. Not everybody has been truly mentally preparing for it, so I can understand there being a few bad ideas here and there. The writing shouldn't be that bad, though.
See, thank you. Maybe it is M. Night. We haven't seen him lately.
I'm wondering, yeah.
No, he's doing Wayward Pines Season 2. Great job. Oh. May 21st, baby. We excited, Blake?
So glad I didn't take your advice on that one.
It's a great show, Bednar.
Nope.
Skipping.
I haven't even watched it. It's terrible.
You should. It's awesome.
How do you know it's terrible if you haven't watched it?
Because...
You're taking Blake's opinion?
Yeah.
Over Jason's?
Yeah, why not?
I can't doubt that.
There you go.
Can't doubt that.
Obviously, you haven't heard me. By the way I listen to the show, I take what Jason says and I laugh. And I take what Blake says and I laugh, but I'm like, yeah, that's about right, though.
Yeah.
At least you listen to Blake and to me. At least you don't ignore me.
That is true.
Real quick, Jeff, did you see Castle?
Yeah,
what not asking back Beckett.
Let's talk about Castle next.
Do you watch Castle?
What?
Okay. Fucker. Fall for it every time. Damn it.
Every time.
They didn't ask Lainey back, the medical examiner?
Well, she's barely on it now to begin with. I don't think they want to pay starring role. Her name's on the beginning, and they barely use her.
The rumor I keep hearing is Castle, his daughter, and their friend.
The English girl?
Yeah, they're going to Hollywood or L.A. next season and be in private investigators.
Yeah.
And
you haven't... There was...
I'm pretty far behind this season, but...
There was an episode where they went to L.A. and met some hidden private investigator group that asked Castle to join their group.
Okay.
And he ended up turning them down.
They said that they filmed 2 endings for the season finale. One, if they get canceled, it's going to be a happy ending with him and Beckett. And the rumor is if they continue for a season 9, she gets killed. So that's how they're going to write her off.
Yay. So if they're moving to L.A., does that mean...
Everybody's gone pretty much.
So Ryan and Esposito
Probably.
are gone. It's all New York is gone. They're just going out to L.A.
Yeah, the head of ABC said that even like 3 months ago, said that they're thinking of ways to extend Castle in a different way. So
They should give it a different title, too, you know.
The thing online is that they're Castle and, Nathan Fillion and Katanik? How do you say her name?
Stana Katic?
Yeah.
Now you got me confused.
Brigger, I think, his last name. Soon to be ex-wife.
Well, I say, why don't they take a page from like the comic universe and just make it Castle on Earth 2?
I like it. Or you know what they would do? A good network, just cancel it. Just stop it. Just stop. Everybody I've heard said this season's been awful.
And make
why do you
Netflix pick it up for next year.
That's right. Or let him go back to Firefly.
The network doesn't want to stop because they've got him signed.
Yeah.
They'll put him in a show. Now, granted, it's not really Castle anymore if they do what they're talking about. It's not the show he's been on, but they've got him signed, and they want to use Nathan Fillion for as long as they can.
Who wouldn't?
I would.
Yeah. Nathan Fillion. Ab. Most important news. Boaty McBoatface.
Yay.
Boaty McBoatface.
That's why you won a Flopfin for best song.
That's right. I'll write it next week.
The internet has spoken.
I thought you just wrote it.
What was wrong with that?
Good.
We'll just edit that out and just drop that in whenever we need a
Boaty.
In between, when you need a transitional spot, you know.
It's like story time with Blake. We just throw Boaty McBoatface
That's right.
in. The internet has spoken, and RRS Boaty McBoatface is the people's choice to name a $300 million state-of-the-art polar research ship. 7,000 names were submitted to the Natural Environment Research Council, NERC, poll which closed April 16th, and Boaty McBoatface won easily with 124,109 votes. The last I saw was it won by over 100,000 votes, I think.
Okay.
It began when the NERC invited the public to christen the 129-meter... What? Come on, we're in America. I don't know what meters
They
are.
aren't.
The largest and most advanced British research vessel to date. Former BBC presenter James Hand cheekily, you know it's a British article and it says cheekily, suggested the Boaty moniker. It quickly became the crowd favorite over more traditional names like RRS Henry Worsley, who was named after the British explorer who died in January while attempting a solo, unaided mission across the Antarctic. I like how it's beating real people.
How do you think the James Hand family feel?
Not Hand, Worsley.
Oh, Worsley. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Worsley, Henry Worsley family. They're like, are you kidding me? Boaty McBoatface beat my dad's.
Out of curiosity, like, why are you honoring somebody who'd be dumb enough to go on a solo, unaided mission across Antarctica? I mean, that's...
Please send your complaints to Dr. Bednar at graphicnovice.com.
Why? Because
The
it's
Worsley
there. Why not?
I've got nothing against Henry Worsley.
That's how it works.
It just seems like a
Horrible idea.
In the history of bad ideas, this has got to be ranking up there with one of the worst.
Across the Antarctic solo
Starting
journey.
off with the idea of a solo, unaided.
In this day and age, is there a lot of hate for Henry Worsley on the line? That fucking Worsley guy, what an asshole!
I think I might have read a little bit about this, like when the Boaty McBoatface first started, and I read about his solo trip across. Apparently, he was only like 20 miles from finishing.
Oh, they meant from the start line.
No, he went through and almost did it.
I can see London. No, I'm dying.
He was like less than a day away from his end
From making
point.
it.
What happened to him?
He died?
A seal attack.
Of what? Starvation? Did he freeze to death?
I think the cold, but I don't...
He didn't bring a jacket.
It was unaided!
He hit his head on the hall.
I'm really cold. I wish I would brought the jacket now.
He watched Fear the Walking Dead episode 1.
He only did it with the clothes on his back.
He picked up some
And
zombies
the beef
floating on a
jerky in
boat.
his pocket.
They look friendly. Let's bring them on. Yeah, and send your
But you
police to
don't know
Hobie
why.
Graphic Novice.
You were just reading about it. The article didn't explain why he didn't make it. It's just like, well, he was 20 miles short.
It might have explained it. I just skipped it.
Why?
Jeff is not the
me to
most
remember
excited.
I
this
do
one?
want to know now. I am kind of curious, I have to admit.
Right. Now look
Internet,
it up.
please. Internet, please tell us.
Google it.
On a side note, we did get an email from a thing from Passerby's podcast, and they did state that the NERC assholes over in Britain or UK or whatever did say that they have final say on it, and they thought it was a good run, and it was funny that this many people voted on it, but this is a very serious thing, and they're going to take the naming of it very seriously. They have final say. Fuck you.
What is not serious about Boaty McBoatface?
I don't know.
I think it describes the boat perfectly.
It looks like a
Could you
Boaty
imagine if
McBoatface.
you're a research scientist and you get to tell people, dude, I'm on Boaty McBoatface. Everybody will know.
Exactly.
If you say I'm on the RSS Henry Worsley, they're
They'd be like, what the fuck's that?
Yay.
why did he die when he was that close?
Why are you naming a boat after someone that died 20 miles away?
He was only 20 miles away from crossing it. What?
No offense, you're kind of on a failure of a boat.
Right, yeah, exactly. But Boaty
Didn't he have
McBoatface, that
GPS?
sounds like a lot of fun, man.
So go fuck yourself, Nerk. That's what I'm saying.
All right,
If
here
you're not willing to go all in with that and you put that up for a vote,
Yeah, he was 30 miles short of completing his crossing.
His first leg.
He had covered 913 miles over 71
so
days,
the last 2%.
Oh my gosh.
including passing through the South Pole.
Oh my
When he was
goodness.
forced to call for help after succumbing to exhaustion and severe dehydration.
He didn't take enough water and didn't sleep.
He's surrounded by ice. Just melted on the stove.
It's too cold to melt.
In the boat, it probably
He's not
isn't.
in a boat.
What's he on?
He was
He's
walking.
walking across the land.
Oh, maybe he's not such an asshole.
Yeah, he was unaided.
He was only using crampons.
What asshole is thinking, I'm just going to walk unaided to Antarctica. Fuck
Oh,
yourself.
fuck crampons. I'm just going to strap 2 old wooden tennis rackets to my feet. I mean, it should at least last me for 950 miles, right?
All I'm saying is, if Will Ferrell and Elf could do it, how come this guy couldn't do it?
Touche.
That was the Arctic, not the Antarctic.
Oh, my bad.
Get
My
it
bad.
straight.
My bad. And he had a narwhal wall to help.
That's right. He was aided.
That's true. He was aided. My bad.
Yeah, we're horrible assholes. This guy died.
You ever question yourself in life if you're an asshole or not?
Dude,
I
what
feel
if-
pretty confident I'm an asshole right
What if
now.
Henry Worsley gets to tagged in this podcast and then you listen to this shit? His family's
I don't
gonna
feel like
hate
an
us.
asshole thinking that way. I mean, it's a bad idea.
I agree. I kind of agree with that too.
History of bad ideas.
If I
Listen,
decided to free jump off the,
Empire State Building.
that one's on me if I die.
It's true. You got a point there.
Just saying.
So what's the rule? What's the lesson today, kids? Don't jump off anything unaided, or don't do anything unaided.
Yeah.
So I agree.
So you're saying we all need to get AIDS?
No.
AIDS.
Everyone's got AIDS. Yeah. So Chris,
There's nothing
Kev.
wrong with you guys.
Well, I guess Kev wouldn't work because he's Spanish. But I like my spaghetti. That's Italian.
I love that Spanish spaghetti.
My bad.
what the
Anyways,
hell are you doing?
He tried to do a Spanish accent.
didn't work.
Talking about spaghetti?
Had 2 growlers.
At least you could have said paella or something.
Chris, could you work on this? Help us out here. Talk to Nerk. We know you have some power over there.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Hey, any of you guys watch Dice on Showtime?
Oh, the Andrew Dice Clay one?
Yeah.
no.
I recommend you do it.
Okay.
Go ahead and watch the episodes. You can go back and watch the episodes because I actually caught this week's episode and the week before. It's called Ego. And it's actually kind of funny. It's Dice kind of like as himself, Andrew Dice Clay, playing his character Dice, but the joke is that, that guy's not me, but it's actually him. and he's an older Dice who's living in Las Vegas, and he's kind of like one of those washed up past guys, and he's kind of like outside of his era now as far as like his comedic peak, and everything's like left him behind, except he's the only one that's clueless and doesn't understand everything's left him behind. But this past weekend had Adrian Brody on it as a guest star, and Adrian Brody comes to him and says, "Hey, I need to study a masculine role, and I'm a method actor. I need to become like you. I need pointers so I can do this masculine role well." And so Andrew Dice Clay starts teaching him how to be like himself, except for the point that Brody, in the show and in real life, is actually doing him perfect, spot on, to the point where Dice is pissed off. He's like, "No, that's me. That's not you. You're you." And it's really fun. It was actually pretty funny.
Is it like Matt LeBlanc in episodes?
No.
Is it similar to it?
No.
Really?
It's better than Matt LeBlanc. Oh my God, please help me.
What? Are you dissing episodes?
No, I'm saying the writing for Dice is, sophomoric, and it's semi-stupid.
Like his
humor,
comedy.
like his comedy, etc. But it is still pretty funny. And this past episode where Adrian Brody basically method acts and becomes Dice himself to the point where he hops in the truck and drives his girlfriend away, and his girlfriend is being played by Natasha Leggero, and she's like, "What the fuck is going on?" It was pretty funny. It was pretty
Is this the first season?
Yeah, that's the first season. They're like several episodes in. I've only seen like the past two, but the past two I've watched, it's
enjoyable.
It's pretty funny. Dice has got the bad hair dye thing going on, and you can tell his hair's all artificially black. And he's got the male pattern baldness. He already had the slick hair back.
Yeah.
But his forehead like starts halfway on top of his head now.
The Jerry Rice move.
Yeah. And he's still trying to like pull off the Dice Man thing, but that's part of the joke. He's still trying to pull off the Dice Man thing. He's like a 60-year-old, retired guy. Yeah, exactly.
Was Dice, and I'm just asking because Dice was when I was a little bit younger, and you guys are a little bit older, so I'm asking, was he big for a long time, or was he like 15 minutes and he's out? Was he
maybe 2 years?
He was around for a couple years.
Like a 3 to 4 year run there.
Okay.
Yeah, he was actually the...
he had a lot of guest appearances.
He was actually in Molly Ringwald movie. Well, not 16 Candles, but...
it was 16. No, Pretty in Pink.
Pretty in Pink. He was the door guy. Pretty in Pink.
That was before anybody knew who he was.
Yeah, that was early.
He was in Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
Yeah.
He was Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
Well, that's what his stand-up got famous. He got that one movie, and then
everyone all of a sudden
he
got the social backlash from a lot of special interest groups. Okay. No, not conservatives. Special interest groups. And, got to the point where he ran out of town because his act was considered... it's still pretty vulgar, sexist, anti
everything.
He's in Vegas now, isn't he? Because I think he's been in Vegas for a couple years.
Yeah, well, the show takes place in Vegas.
No, I know that, but in real life, I think.
And what's pretty funny is girlfriend's brother's gay and getting married, and so Dice and his background as the character, his stand-up routine. So it's actually kind of funny when he starts interacting with the two gay guys. He's like, no, that's not me. That's not me. This is me. That was the guy on stage. But then it reverts back into his
to his
persona, right? His persona.
Yeah,
but it's actually not semi-offensive. Is actually
I've heard
they
other
play it
people
off as
say
like
that it's very good.
Yeah, they actually play it off as like he's
it.
cute, he's trying, but it's kind of funny because he's a dumbass.
Right.
Whereas like he's a dumbass Dice trying to be politically correct a little bit, but he's Dice.
Did you know Warwick Davis had a show like that too? Like in episodes with him in it.
Oh yeah, I did hear something about that.
With little people?
Yeah, but it was the same thing that he kept trying to get bigger roles and all that. But it's like an episodes or a Dice like that in a jest.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was actually by the guy that created Office.
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
He actually helped him create it
Gervais
with Warwick Davis.
Stephen Merchant.
Yeah.
I think Stephen Merchant was in the show with Warwick Davis.
Warwick Davis. Yeah. I don't think it's on anymore, but it was on for a couple seasons. And
it's like those British shows. They only last like 6 episodes and call it good.
But if you're a person that's easily offended and can't see the comedy through the comedy, where he's actually making fun of himself, it's not for you.
Okay.
But it's got Kevin Corrigan. Kevin Corrigan's his best buddy. His name's Milkshake in the thing. And I was, I expected to see an older Dice, but when I saw Kevin Corrigan and how he's aged, oh my gosh, I felt so old. I'm like, that's Kevin Corrigan. Oh my
I have
God.
no clue who Kevin Corrigan is.
He's older and fatter. He's from Walking and Talking, True Romance, and
Who was he in True Romance?
he was in Buffalo 66 too.
And I didn't name things I've never even heard of. So,
Yeah.
all right, cool.
You don't know who Kevin Corrigan is?
Name
don't know.
doesn't
If
ring
you
a bell
see
at
him,
all.
as soon as you see him, you'll recognize him.
I'm sure.
Except for the fact that he's older and fatter and got gray hair.
It'll work. Davis is 46 years old. I thought he
Yeah,
was a lot older than
believe
that.
Seriously?
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, now he's 70.
I actually didn't think he was that old, to be honest.
Dead.
He was in the TV show Life's Too Short from 2011 to 2013. It was
Literally.
called. There you go. So, he was also in Jack the Giant Slayer. He was Old Ham. I loved him as Old Ham. Is that after the beer, you think? Hams? So, what are you drinking over there, Bednar? Doctor?
Great Lakes, Elliot Ness.
Oh, okay, that guy. He was in Grounded for Life.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, as soon as you see him, you recognize him, and then you're like, oh my God, he's old. I can't believe it. But that's pretty funny. Even his buddy, Kevin Corrigan, walks in, and Adrian Brody's completely dressed up as Dice, and he walks in, he's like, oh, hey, Dice. He's like, no, hey, what are you talking about? It's me. Anyways, the exchanges is really funny.
That sounded more like Mario. Hey, it's me, Mario.
I want some spaghetti.
Why do we got turtles coming out of the plumbing pipes? Luigi, get the pipes. Actually, wasn't a bad Italian.
Were you saying that Mario was cleaning Luigi's pipes?
Okay, let's all be real. Everybody knew that was happening.
I'm just...
Birdo was videotaping it. Toad, well, he was a butt plug. Let's just say that. So.
All right, to completely change directions.
All right, well...
I'm feeling even worse now because I've continued reading the Worsley article. Yeah, he was attempting to complete Sir Ernest Shackleton's unfinished journey to the South Pole.
So it's still unfinished?
After spending 2 days...
technically, he recreated it.
Yeah, I was going to say, sounds like he recreated
Down
it
to
already.
the minute.
After spending 2 days unable to move from his tent, the married father of two decided to pull out of the charity adventure. He was doing this for charity to... Where did it go?
Worsley was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To help wounded soldiers with rehabilitation.
Why you gotta make us feel like bigger assholes now?
Because I was feeling like an asshole and I had to spread the feeling.
Jason, why'd you say all that stuff earlier?
Worsley has my utmost respect. Son of a bitch.
He's still no Boaty McBoatface, though.
Here's to Worsley.
Here's to Worsley.
Woo!
Cheers.
Woo!
There you go, you cheeky monkey.
Yeah, what a wanker.
Not Worsley. Jason.
Yes.
Jason's a wanker.
Oh, I'm a wanker. You were just mocking him too.
But not Henry Worsley.
I think you got a lot of anger towards me tonight. I don't know. You're giving me those looks. Give me those looks. Okay, let's get some listener feedback.
Boaty McBoatface.
Anytime we need a segue, that's what we're doing. Listener feedback.
It's kind of like the Super Friends where they had the choo-choo, pew, little bursts on the screen.
I always thought it was
Like that
Apache
pretty
Chief.
good, too.
Canuck Chuck.
Pew, pew, pew.
Okay, go ahead, Blake. You start. You do it. Listener feedback, buddy. All yours.
Yeah, listener feedback. We start from this guy named Doug.
Number one fan.
Can't give yourself a nickname.
He says, what makes X-Men uncanny? I think he's referring to them being called Uncanny X-Men.
Yes, that is true.
I'm pretty sure that's what he's referring to.
I think it's because the uncanny have
Because they're not normal.
Yeah, they have some really bad nicknames.
Or
It's
they're
uncanny,
not
some
canny.
of the names, like Dazzler, Jubilee. Oh, I shoot fireworks
Well,
with the raincoat on. Yay! Jubilee.
you know Jubilee was made to make fun of Robin.
I know, and I still can't forgive them for that. I can make fun of Robin when he wore the non-pants, but now since Tim Drake has the pants on, no, that's fine.
Well, yeah, but she was created before Tim Drake.
And don't get me started on that Damien shit. Fuck him.
But uncanny, strange, mysterious, especially in an unsettling way. So I think that pretty much that's what makes them uncanny.
You're the X-Men guy, so I'm going to go to you with it.
I just read the definition. And
I know
think
that, but do you
pretty
feel that they're uncanny?
Oh, they are uncanny.
Okay.
They are mysterious in an unsettling way. That's why
So is
everyone.
Blake.
That's why everyone fears and hates them.
So is Blake.
Well,
everybody
Blake
fears
is
and
the
hates them.
uncanny Blake.
Maybe he's Jubilee.
Ooh. No, he does a better superpower than fireworks.
Jubilee, Jubilee.
Did you go to
And they're not
Indiana and get some
fireworks.
fireworks before he came here? Because
Yeah.
you have the same powers as Jubilee then.
I make my own fireworks.
Oh. Look, I got Roman candles. Okay, Jubilee.
Maybe that's why the FBI
Again,
was trailing me
Jason
when I bought all
makes fun
that
of someone not
fertilizer.
understanding their powers and knowing nothing about them.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dazzler has roller skates. Ooh.
He
Anyways.
hasn't worn those roller skates since like the 80s. Come on.
Oh, my bad. Okay, my bad.
You've worn roller skates more recently than Dazzler has.
Rollerblades, thank you.
I think that's my point.
No, rollerblades are cool. Roller skates are off.
Rollerblades haven't been cool for like 15 years.
You know. Anyways.
15.
Are you going to
Go a little further than that.
It could be longer than that, but I didn't want to like push out the people that make the
Oh, okay.
people in the 2000s still on rollerblades feel bad.
Doctor, you had a question?
I was going to ask Blake if he was going to go see the Uncanny X-Men
No.
The Age of Apocalypse movie?
Apocalypse movie.
Is that
'Cause
the
we
one where
went to
they
see
go
the
back
last
in
one,
time?
Did you
And he came out of it. The funniest thing, he just kind of like started shaking his head like, nothing happened.
Exactly.
I'm like, no, man, it was great. Like the effects were great, and we got Xavier, and we got everybody together. It was really nothing happened.
Exactly.
Warpath was
At
killed in
the
10
end of
minutes.
it, nothing happened. Yes,
Did
exactly.
you see, so they do on Age of Apocalypse, did you see the rumor for the next one after that? Because, of course, they already did. They're coming out with another one. Is the Dark Phoenix saga again. Why are we doing
They're
the Dark
doing it again?
Yes! Why are you
damn.
doing the Dark Phoenix saga again? Stop it! Stop it!
Why not?
Because they fucked it up the first time they did it. That's why they're doing it
Don't
again.
do it! Here's an idea. Think of something else. You've had 40 years of comics. You
Right.
can find a whole lot better things in it.
Yeah, where's Moon Knight?
Is he in it?
No.
No, that's what I'm saying. Where's
Oh.
Moon Knight? We don't have a Moon Knight.
Bring back Warpath!
And we're like rebooting Spider-Man for the third time for 3 more movies.
Did you see the
where's
new
Moon
title
Knight?
for that?
No.
Homecoming.
Whatever.
It's called Homecoming. So you named it after a high school dance?
Well,
Yay!
it makes me think that it's not going to be an origin story.
I'm sure Uncle Ben's going to get killed in it. I'm sure.
I bet there's some radioactive spider thing. Whatever.
Michael Keaton signed on. He might be playing Vulture. So,
What?
I saw
yeah.
that, yes.
So
Vulture.
he went from
First Batman to Birdman, now Vulture.
How
Yep.
fitting. Isn't
Yeah.
that like a sick sense of humor?
I feel like this is probably going to be the shittiest
Yeah.
of those three.
I would consider Michael Keaton uncanny.
It's a very uncanny Hobie episode. I
It
will
all-
say that.
It all comes around.
Yes,
Yes.
it does.
See?
I could see Michael Keaton pulling off Vulture better than most people. Originally, they wanted John Malkovich years ago when Sam Raimi was doing it. Malkovich was up for it. And Anne Hathaway was cast as his daughter in it.
Oh yeah.
So, I don't know.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. I'm excited, though. No.
All right, so there you go, Doug. Uncanny. He said, so anyways, Doug says, I'll ask again. Well, I mean, this is implying that he's been asking
We
for the
never
past
answered
several
it.
weeks. He says, does Batman versus Superman pass the Bechdel test?
Yeah, I finally saw BVS the other day.
And?
Did it pass the Bechdel test?
Is that what he's asking?
No, it says, does it pass Deadpool in the domestic gross?
We don't really need to answer
I'm
that question. We
confused.
just need to find like.
But does it pass the
determine-
Bechdel test? That's a good question. Let me think.
What the hell is a Bechdel test?
That's the one to find out if it's like anti-women.
If it meets feminist standards for an
okay.
acceptable
Well, I think it will
movie.
because Wonder Woman's the only highlight of that movie.
Yeah, it's like
No,
it has to
Wonder
have
Woman wouldn't pass the Bechdel test.
Why
It have
wouldn't
to
she?
have
Because
two
she's scantily
female
clad at a certain
characters.
point?
Two female characters who talk to each other
Yeah,
about something other than men.
it's correct.
That's pretty much all you need. And the more I'm thinking about it,
Lois Lane and Wonder Woman never interact.
No.
Lois Lane and Martha interact. No, they don't. Nope, they're never in the same scene.
and if they do, they're talking
were in Man of
about
Steel.
Superman.
We're not talking Man of Steel. We're talking the shittier version.
Talking about their men.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Wow.
So there you go. So Batman versus Superman does not pass the Bechdel test.
Okay,
Glad you
yeah,
asked that
there you go,
question,
Doug.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't think that was close.
Next from Desmond Hassing at D Hassing. It's official. Hardcore Henry, top 5 all-time trailers, but the movie was boring and repetitive.
Who said that was a
that's
top
a
5
spoiler.
trailer?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Des, I didn't get the top 5 trailer on it.
Could have at least said spoiler alert.
How many people in the...
Now, granted, I will say the
How many
2-minute trailer probably was about the extent of you could take for that, and they made it a 90-minute movie.
After about 30 seconds, I was bored with that trailer.
Well, how many people yacked in the movie theater into their bucket of popcorn
Yeah.
from the first-person motion sickness?
I hate that trailer. Yeah, it probably would be cool, but could you sit through 2 hours of that?
Nope.
That's not a video game?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. How many times can you look at your 2 hands like catching shit and throwing shit?
Fondling shit.
And fondling stuff.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah. That Des, thanks for the review. Anytime people have a movie review, please send it to us at Bad Ideas Podcast on Twitter or the History of Bad Ideas on Facebook, and we will put your review up there. Pam Morris even had one a while back. So anybody that has a movie review, bring it in.
Yeah, and then
Just
we'll,
a couple sentences though.
then we'll make fun of it.
We have ADD.
All right. And then Snake Oil Comics at SOC Podcast. If Negan kills Daryl, will you riot?
Doctor?
Doctor,
All right, it's time. Blake,
go.
read it. How do you pronounce that?
What?
Negan. Why do you always say Negan?
Negan?
Why do you say Negan? It's just not
Negan.
Megan.
Negan?
It's not Megan.
Negan?
Megan?
It's
not
spelled like
Negan.
Megan.
No, it's not. It's
Negan.
spelled like Negan.
Then why don't they put an I in there?
When you
After the E.
you watched the episodes prior, right? What did
Well,
they
why
say?
don't they call
How'd
it
say his name? They said
N-E-E?
Negan.
Why did they spell it N-E-E or
I
N-E-I?
almost threw my iPhone out the window the other day listening to you say Negan like 6 times in a row.
And I kept trying to correct him. Did you hear me?
If
I honestly-
Negan is spoken one more time, I will kill Daryl. Wait a minute.
I actually have to agree with Blake on that. Like you said, it's
Thank you.
Megan with an N instead of an M.
That's right, it's
In the
Negan.
show, they call him Negan.
Then
You want
they
to
should
spell
spell it
like that.
Negan.
A man called Negan.
Or
Negan's not a scary dude. Negan can be, though.
how's it spelled in the comics?
Negan.
Negan?
K-N-E-E-G-A-N.
Neeegan.
That's how you spell it in the comics.
Well, then that's called Negan.
Well, you know what I did?
singing
Just,
in there.
you know what I did? Just guarantee myself of is hearing him call him Negan from here until eternity. Now,
Yeah, that's correct.
If there's one thing you can say about Hobie is we're stubborn. So you tell us we're wrong on something, some asshole keeps talking about impressions. Let me tell you,
I
that
just needed to
doesn't
get
end.
out of my system so I don't throw my iPhone next time. No, on that point.
Blake just
What
wants
do
to
you
watch
think,
the
man?
wood burn.
Actually,
gonna riot?
in this past week or two, somebody actually broke down Negan's Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo on YouTube. Have you seen that?
Yes.
And they basically say it is Glenn.
Yeah, it better be.
They even break it down. They go by the number count and everything, all that kind of stuff.
I could see how it could be
pretty
Abraham.
in-depth.
Though.
I hope
Abraham's
not.
already dead in the books, and
Yeah, but I'm digging him in the show a lot more.
he was cool in the books too.
Yeah,
But
I liked how he died. Just his arrow. What the fuck
but
was that?
and then that's how what's her face
Yeah,
dies instead.
the vet died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Olivia.
Is that what her name was? Yeah. I actually liked her in the show. Mm-hmm. I'm fine if Daryl dies, though. I mean, I like him, but I'm fine with it.
He does have a new show on AMC that they've
yeah,
introduced
but
him in.
that's a small offshoot.
I know it is, but they might kind of already be.
There's reports going around that what's his face Andrew Lincoln wants out of his contract.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yes, he does. He's tired of importing his family to.
I'm
America.
sorry that you've got to work
To
on the most
America
popular show in the
every
entire
summer.
world.
Yeah, I know,
Oh my
it's so
God, I gotta
rough.
bring my people over here.
Time out. Did the robot from Lost in Space just yell at Andrew Lincoln? Danger,
Sorry.
Will Robinson.
Danger.
Danger, Andrew Lincoln.
Would you rather be walking across Antarctica on a solo unaided trip?
I guarantee you, Andrew Lincoln, you leave this, you go do something else, you're not going to make the
Ain't gonna
easy
work.
money
Nope.
that you'd be making on this right
He's
now.
going to do Love Actually too.
Oh Christ!
No.
Question is, did he make enough money that if he just retired now and could he live off it for the rest of his
Probably
life?
not.
I could,
Well, I know
Most
I
people could, but
but he couldn't because he's had so many high expenses bringing his kids over to across the ocean.
That's right. He doesn't want to, expose his children to our lowbrow culture.
He really spent a lot. He spent 2 seasons worth of paychecks on the Will Smith trailer, like the actual RV that he has for $20 million. So it was not a good investment. He thought that would only go up in value.
And the steering wheel's on the wrong side for him.
That's right. So you can't drive it in America. Right. It has to be towed everywhere.
That is correct.
When you're talking about this stuff, was it Ray Winston was offered a role for American television towards the beginning of his career, and his deciding factor to not take it was because he didn't want his children to grow up with American accents.
So then he did Punisher.
He did?
Yeah, didn't he?
No.
Was he in Punisher? The second one, the World?
No, that was Ray Stevenson.
Same thing. Is he British?
I think he might be. Not granted, they were both in King Arthur. If that makes sense.
What? There you go. That's what
No, for intents of this conversation, yes, he was, until we're proven wrong.
We don't fact check. Chris, back us up. I wouldn't say Kev, but he's vacationing in Jamaica or somewhere.
So he's at his homeland.
Yeah, I'm smoking some ganja. Okay, Kev. Anyways,
that's your Jamaican accent?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, Snake-O ahead of part 2. I said, what do you think will become the next Rubik's Cube for nerd culture?
HOBI.
I agree with that. HOBI.
The sides will never fit together. What are you talking about?
No one can ever solve that
puzzle.
No
one ever solve that puzzle.
It's like very salty towards me tonight. He just keeps ignoring me and going to the next thing. I'm talking. He's like, well, anyways, got part 2 here.
Anyways,
why that differs from any other episode?
He's got a fucking accent again. Jesus. Sorry, okay? Just because there's a doctor in the room, we don't have to up our game. Thank you, Dr.
Wait, did you want to like state how you were gonna riot if Negan kills Daryl?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I really don't care if he kills anybody.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think none of us care at least, but they might lose women. They might lose some of the female.
I'm actually okay if they kill Rick. Of course, I will miss the talking of Carl.
That's what I'm saying.
Carl. I'm glad we're on Google Play.
Hey,
thanks for checking out
Google Play. Google Play. 5 minutes of Carl.
Oh, if they watch The Walking Dead, they've used to that.
But he's English, so you realize he's putting so much effort to say Carl instead of going Kyle.
As an American trying to do a UK accent, I understand the plight. I do put so much effort into Michael Caine, and it just doesn't work.
Can you name this kid anything other than Carl?
How about Sam? Can we name Sam?
Sam.
I can say Sam.
Also,
That just reminded
Can
me
you just say Benedict? For fuck's sake. Can we just call him Benny Hill?
The one Simpsons episode where they showed Kent Brockman getting ready to read the news. And it's like, a major fire went through France.
That's funny. That's awesome.
Anyways, what do you think next Rubik's Cube is?
Well, I thought you said HOBI.
Oh, okay, we're answering it. Moving on.
Whatever it is. Well, let's see. Rubik's Cube, a handheld puzzle device, so it's something on your phone.
I'm going to say graphic novice because they give up after 100 episodes, so nobody's going to care after that.
Ooh, I don't get it.
Nah. Moving on. I just had to throw a shot.
See, the one time I let Jason finish when I should have cut his fucking ass off, he comes up with that.
Never mind.
He comes up with that.
Should have finished. Anyways.
I should have moved on. Instead, I let Jason finish, and we come up with that gem.
Moving on.
anyway.
Are you ready to move on?
Did you hear about this Henry Worsley guy? What an asshole.
Henry Boaty McBoatface Worsley.
Boaty McBoatface is a true hero.
Had a mug only a wanker could love.
Moving on.
He literally recreated
the same trip.
Antarctic death. Oh. I'm so sorry, Worsley family. We're just... Moving on, Pop Culture Cafe, a TPC Cafe. Do you think that Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame is useless and has lost its prestige?
I've thought that in my lifetime it's been useless and had no prestige.
It lost its prestige when I realized all you had to do was come up with the money to buy a spot on it and put a star in there. I thought it was apparently something you get voted on.
Apparently it
and
used
they
to
honor
be
you
more
with,
prestigious.
but instead you just get a bunch of numbnuts, pay for your star and stick it in the sidewalk.
40,000, I think.
$40,000?
Yeah,
That's it?
40 or 80,000, I forget how much it is.
You know, we should start a GoFundMe to put a HOBI star on there.
Oh, that would kick ass.
I feel like they're the Golden Globes of the Star or Walk of Fame. You know, hey, you got enough money? Yeah, you're going to get a star. It's fine.
Dissing the Golden Globes by comparing them to the Walk of Fame stars?
I think they're both the same, prestige. None.
Wow.
None. Was it a big deal back in the day?
Apparently.
Okay.
But Hollywood was way different back then. That it was more glamorous and everything, and there were very few
back
big
in the day.
stars.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
things
now
change.
any jagoff can get their
Domestic
star.
abuse was rampant. It was fine back then.
As soon as Ryan Seacrest got one.
That was the cutting point.
That's right.
That was the jump the shark moment. Is Ryan Seacrest?
It's like a participation trophy now.
Well, I'll put it this
for fuck's
way:
sake.
that they actually.
Thanks for coming to Hollywood. Here's your Walk of Fame.
You
Hey, if you're
participated
in
in Hollywood.
Can't they sell them on the street? You can put your own in there.
Exactly. You were in a movie. Congratulations. Here's your star.
I actually think I did do a logo for one of our episodes many episodes ago that was a Hollywood Walk of Fame star.
Yes.
Maybe I'll have to dig that one up again.
I need to tell you about your images from now on, too.
Oh, I made a mistake last week. Big deal.
I just have to tell you off the air. It's just inside baseball knowledge. Calm down. I wasn't mad at you. I was giving you some upset. Jesus.
Damn you.
Calm down. My God.
Last week, damn you, Jeff.
Real quick, though, I heard a pro that you're going on Graphic Novice soon.
They've invited me on.
Okay.
And unlike you, I said yes.
I was researching. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm joining them for the Graphic Novice Book Club.
Oh, okay. Oprah. It's like Oprah's book
Just
club.
like Oprah's Book Club.
Do you get a car?
No, I don't think I do.
It's a Canadian car, so it probably will only run on seal blood. So.
What book are you going to review?
We're going to be doing The Watchmen.
Heaven Can Wait, or something like that. What is it? Miracles from Heaven, or whatever it is.
50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of
Okay,
Grey.
time out. I want you to go into it reviewing 50 Shades of Grey while they're reviewing Watchmen. That's the
How long
deal.
it takes for them to realize it was a mistake.
Oh, they know.
I would be willing to do that, but that would require trying to read the book or at
I'm
least
sure you
know
could
the
get through it
character's
in
names.
one shitting. I'm sure you could.
I'm sure that's what would end up in my toilet is the book.
That'd be a great SNL skit.
Book club for 50 Shades of Grey.
No, where you come in and reviewing the wrong book. 50 Shades of Grey, they're like the Watchmen comic book graphic. You start off with your description of how you felt.
It's a
everybody's
running
looking at you
gag
what the fuck
that whatever book they're reading, you're reading the same book every week.
You know who you should get is Meg
Yeah.
Griffin. She loves 50 Shades
She
of
loves
Grey.
50, you're right.
She's got
Meg
the
loves
action
it.
figures. So,
I don't think she listens to us anymore.
I think this is why. Most shows try to bring people in, we alienate.
Oh, you're listening to us? Let's make fun of you.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you're not going to get the Worsley family hate listening to you either. That's pretty much you burned that bridge, destroyed it, built an iceberg of Antarctica size on top of it.
And ran a boat into the iceberg.
Named Boaty McBoatface into it.
There's going to be a Huffington Post story about what assholes we are.
If I make HuffPost, I'd be thrilled.
Fuck, at this point, I'll be happy with the National Enquirer. I'll take that.
Weekly World News.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Bat Boy.
We'll be on page 2 of the Sun.
Man Bat.
Page
whatever.
2 of the Sun.
Fat Boy is correct.
One of us topless.
That's what someone was pointing out, though. Bat Boy. He shouldn't he be? Bat Boy's been around since at least the early '90s.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think he'd be a man by now.
They age differently.
Apparently.
Yeah.
That's Earth 2.
Well, he's nocturnal, so he's only going to be like a quarter of the age.
Blake's idea is Earth 2. You know what the answer is? Doesn't matter if you have a question. It's Earth 2.
It doesn't matter.
That's the answer.
That's right.
Not Earth 3, because those guys are assholes.
I kind of like Chris's idea of he's nocturnal.
Yeah, too.
He's only up during the night, so he ages slower.
Well, there's no sun in Earth 2.
It may just be the alcohol talking, but I think he's got a point. I wonder if on Earth 2 we're the nice podcast.
On Earth 2, we're actually
Is it
number one.
On Earth
On
2,
iTunes.
Worsley actually finished the trip.
Oh!
We're actually talking on Earth 2. Hey, Worsley, great job!
He's on the show and you're talking to him.
How was it feeling being assisted, aided throughout the whole thing? So you brought a coat. Good for you, Worsley.
Smart. Considering you were in Antarctica, that was a smart move.
Worsley is such a British name. I feel like he should be a butler. Hello, Worsley. Welcome. Please bring your coffee in.
Worsley, bring the car around, please.
Somehow we became Mr. Belvedere. Worsley, bring it in. Wesley.
Worsley, you idiot!
I remember when Wesley fell in love with the Amish girl on Belvedere.
No.
I do. I remember that one. Oh, good old Wesley. Wesley, what are you doing?
Remember the time on Mr. Belvedere when Bob Uecker told a bad joke?
Nope. Bob Uecker has never made a bad joke. True.
You know, that reminds me, Dr. Number One and Dr. Number One said, will the Oilers get the number one pick in the NHL draft again this year?
Probably.
I don't believe it.
I think they're picking a guy named Worsley.
Well, they're obviously getting thrown into the draft lottery with every other Canadian team because apparently Canadian cities suck at hockey. So
Who would have known?
I still...
So what's the
Tampa Bay, the
NHL?
heart of the NHL.
Phoenix, because if you can't make it here in hockey, you can't make it anywhere.
I was just down in Tampa over the weekend, and there's Lightning gear everywhere. So they
somebody's
support
got a
them.
job.
They support them.
well, yeah, probably a little better than they do the Rays.
I'm sure they do, which makes zero sense whatsoever.
When the NHL opens a franchise in Mexico City, I'll start watching.
NHL?
Is Monterrey close enough, or does it have to be Mexico City?
gotta be
next,
Mexico
next
City.
to are Las Vegas and Quebec.
That's San Diego.
Yeah.
That's essentially Mexico.
No, you're confusing San Diego with Tijuana.
I don't know, but they both have good hookers.
I think I create donkey shows.
I don't know if those San Diego hookers are all that good. I mean, Dez is still, I think, trying to find one that will accept him.
Well, yeah, but no hooker except somebody with 7 theater majors, okay? Let's just be real. Oh, I got another degree in theater. Dear God.
Even the hooker says I can fake orgasms better than 7 degrees of acting.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, you got a theater degree. Well, that's not bad. I got 7. Oh, well, that's good. Are you in New York? No, I'm in San Diego. Yes, the mecca of theater. Thank you. Thanks. Woody Allen, I love his movies about San Diego.
Again, any complaints, send them to Jason at graphicnovice.com.
Okay. I'm glad we answered Dr. Number One's question about the Oilers.
It's time for another installment of the news of the geek.
Got a little something special this week. We're going to talk Game of Thrones here in just a couple minutes. Real quick.
Yes!
Oh, sorry.
So Jason will go sit in the green room while we actually have a discussion. But before we get into that,
over there? What the hell's going on?
a hooker with a theater degree.
I've got a theater degree.
Where do you think they found Cersei?
Mount Olympus.
Anyways, go ahead.
The Jim Henson Company and River Horse, Matthew Broderick, come back to bed, are going to do it as they are releasing Jim Henson's Labyrinth, the board game, this summer. We're skipping to number 2, guys.
Thanks.
I told
You
Blake.
hear all the pages turn.
Sorry.
What's going on?
Where are we at? We're on Earth 2 now, guys.
Earth 2.
Keep up.
Still deliver better news than MSNBC and Fox News combined.
Agreed.
And Huffington Post.
And pretty much CNN.
Okay, everything except BBC.
Except for
Anyways,
BBC.
Except
guys.
BBC is the only place to get your news.
Game is designed for up to 4 players, focusing on simple gameplay, with the beautifully carved character tokens for Sarah, Jarath, Hoggle, Ludo, and Sir Didymus. Whatever. Includes
Stop a brocious.
Like, you don't know how to say the word ambrosious.
Well, hold on. So you just said 5 character tokens, but it says for 4 players.
Oh,
Yeah.
one of them sits out.
Yeah.
What?
It's kind of like me and dodgeball. Includes 2x2 game board, 32 labyrinth cards.
You know, that's the funniest thing you said all night.
He didn't even mean it. He was being serious.
Was never picked. 32 labyrinth cards, game tokens, dice, character sheets, and much more. You know, Blake, it's really your positive attitude towards me that really keeps me going every week. Every week I go, it's a little tired to do a podcast. Oh, Blake's going to lift me up to the sky. He is my Bette Midler. Okay.
He's going to give me self-affirmation.
And then hit me with a shovel. Let's see. The maze that players must navigate to save Sarah's baby
and
brother.
teach you how to speak English.
Each game is different with the blank card spaces being filled in with magical items. Anyways, the game changes each time with the maze. It's based on the old movie. I am actually intrigued by this game.
It would be even better if you landed on certain spaces and got the actual song. That
From
was
David
sung
Bowie.
From David Bowie, yeah. The Babe.
It probably would be just silent now since he's dead.
Boo.
Cards, tokens, dice, character sheets.
Although,
It
if
sounds
Jason
like
went to get it, he ended up getting, like, the theme to Cat People.
it sounds like a board game where D&D meets Magic's Gathering, except it's Labyrinth.
I'm not a huge Labyrinth fan, but I think it would be a really fun game. And did you see the tokens that they made, the character pieces?
No.
They are beautiful. Like, they are really well done. I'll put it on our Facebook page. It is really nice. Cool. I was pleasantly
What
surprised.
are they made of? Are they soapstone? Are they granite? Are they
I'm assuming they'll be plastic.
Wood.
plastic?
I don't know if they're plastic.
Really?
Yeah, they look pretty
Funny
nice.
rocks?
They're really tiny rocks.
Witches!
Apples?
Among the witches! You can keep up to date on River Horse, Matthew Broderick, Labyrinth Facebook page.
River Horse Labyrinth Facebook page.
Yes. So, the Labyrinth board game, I'm intrigued. Comes out this summer. So
I suppose it'll be at some of those gaming conventions.
I'm hoping that we'll be
Origins
going
and
to.
or Gen Con.
Are you going to Origins this year?
Yeah, I'm going to be at Origins.
Okay. I would, but we're having a baby around that time, so I cannot.
Yeah, your priorities are so screwed.
I said I would go.
Why don't you take her up there to Origins? It could be like a great news piece.
Oh, yeah, and then you can have your baby born in Columbus.
Origins. You can. It's the origin of Origins. You can call your baby Origin.
Origin Brigger.
I'm still trying to get Bruce Wayne. I don't think it's going to happen. My
You're
wife
not
keeps-
allowed to name your kid Wayne as a middle name because they all become serial
Serial
killers.
Or according to
killers,
my
yes.
wife, Bruce Wayne Brigger sounds like a porn star. So, we'll do some quickie news here. According to TV Lines,
Meh.
Stephen King's The Mist has received a 10-episode series from Spike TV. Spike ordered a pilot back in February, but after hearing the pitch and reading the script, they decided to take the project straight to series. Is this, can we do a crossover episode with Bar Rescue? No. Okay. That's all I know. It's on Spike. Anyone else know what's on Spike?
John Taffer coming in. You're doing it wrong! Shut it down! Oh, good one.
Exactly.
I felt John
Oh, I
Taffer was
finally
in the
actually
room.
had a good.
Yeah.
All right.
Even your face was good. Shut it down. Good job, Bednar.
I finally had.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued, but I saw the movie, so I don't know if I need anything else. I mean, like,
I'm sure they'll take different. Obviously, they got 10 different episodes to fill, so.
to space it out.
They've got a lot. You know, it's like this 12 Monkeys season 2 started on the Sci-Fi Channel this
that
past
still on?
week. Yeah.
Apparently it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's actually good. I actually
Is
like
it?
it. Yeah.
I'm not mocking it. I didn't know
Yeah.
it was still on.
Yeah.
All right. That's Chris's
A lot
ad.
of better things to do with my
Yeah.
life.
Okay.
Like Trevor would say, Antarctica and ate
Right.
it. Or ate it.
Santiago, Chile.
Yeah. Spanish spaghetti. Hola. James Cameron announced that Avatar will now be getting 4 sequels.
Thank God.
Yeah, wasn't it more than that before?
It was originally 3.
Oh, the
Avatar's
end.
getting 1.
4 sequels?
Man,
Yes. Yes.
blue people.
Does anyone care? I keep asking this every time Avatar news comes up. No one cares, right? Please, God.
Somebody has to care, but I haven't met them yet.
You haven't met James Cameron. He's about the only one that has to care about this, right? Okay.
Somebody must like it.
So, I heard Game of Thrones starts this Sunday. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, before we get into it.
Please ask your questions, Jason.
Okay, here's my questions.
Yes.
You haven't taken our advice and started watching it yet, have you?
I'm 6 seasons behind.
Yes. Well, you would have only been.
Actually, you're only 5.
Yeah,
five
that's
seasons.
what I meant.
Nah, he's probably 6.
I'm going to try to binge watch it
He
this
will
week.
be 6.
Weekend, all 6
Watch it,
seasons.
this binge watch it. Oh my god.
All 5 seasons right now.
Hey, it's possible. It's
Yeah.
50
hours.
50 hours.
I was on a business trip once, and I did see one episode back in season 2.
You can skip that one.
Okay,
So 49 hours.
49.
Okay, so I feel like I could catch up this weekend. But, yeah. So anyways, I will let you guys talk. I'm going to go play some video games in the green room. You guys got 25 minutes.
I thought you had a question, though.
No, I have no questions. I don't really care. We will do 25 minutes just because we got some other things to get to. And according to Blake on his instant message, hey, let's have Bednar in for a 25-minute or 30-minute discussion about this. And then Blake wrote back, I have notes. Which is never a good sign. But you guys can do your own Game of Thrones episode, like you did last time.
It's a mini episode within an episode.
Yeah.
You are aware last time we did a Game of Thrones entire episode, Blake made it through 2 pages of his 4.
Yes.
And I think we're approached 2.5 hours.
I think we're at almost 3 hours, weren't we?
we were pushing 3. We had to.
I know we split it into 2 episodes.
Yes, they did. One came out on Tuesday, one came out on Friday. The good news is that was one of our higher episodes, so good
So
for you guys.
25 minutes means Blake will have enough time to talk about Arya here. So
so we'll get through Arya. All right.
go.
And we're going
I may not even
alphabetical.
get through Arya. I just need to get started on Arya.
Is that country?
Now,
You can go play your video game.
No, I might stay. This is going to be fun. Come on, Blake, talk. Hey, you want to be an asshole to me earlier?
Go
It's
play with
payback time now,
yourself.
bitch. Blake? Yeah, come on, tell
I'm
me.
not fazed by any of this shit.
I know
man.
you're not. That's the thing that kills me.
actually, my first real question is how I know you're kind of in between on watching it this year because
Yes, I'm kind of
spoilers, but
torn. This
I
is
wanna
the
know what Jeff
topic.
thinks.
Yes.
Oh, I'll watch it
You're
without
gonna
a
watch,
problem.
right? Okay, so
I
we're
saw
all
the,
gonna watch,
I saw
right?
the first 2 seasons before reading the book. I can watch these before reading.
So I
the
say,
book.
in order to stay within our 25-minute time frame, we got to be careful not to dwell on the books and just let's dwell.
We
on
mustn't
the show.
dwell. It's Rex Panding Day.
That was last week.
Oh, sorry. Now 24 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah, you never said start.
Start 15 seconds ago. All right. I suppose with Jason's getting his timer ready, we can go.
Yeah, so we already hinted on this before, but people, fans of the books, watching the movies versus people doing the show, well, not the movies, the shows versus non-reading the books kind of stuff. So I'm kind of caught in that. I'll probably watch it because I have to watch it, or else,
Even though you're going to have book spoilers this year.
even though
very
I have book
likely.
spoilers. But, Martin did say that it'll be its own living entity. The end will be the same. It'll just be different routes to get there. Is basically what he described. So
And the end will only be the same for like the major end. Everybody else's
For the major
minor
end. Everything
stories
else
are
is-
ending differently
yeah.
anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, mostly. So I guess what we're talking about is probably a good thing to get caught up, in regards to like the quick storylines. Like, for example, the season ended. Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen, both literally at where the books of the Winds of Winter, was it the Dance with Dragons
Dance with
ended.
Dragons. Yes.
So I think that's kind of significant. So they probably both play an important, end game. Even though this season they may screw everybody and screw with everybody's heads, not having Jon Snow in it this season. Maybe. Who knows what's going on. They got the secret under wraps. But I thought it was very interesting that their storylines with some tweaks to Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen basically was the same with the books up until that point.
Right.
Where the books ended and the season ended.
Yes, you are correct.
Okay, yes.
And I definitely would not be surprised if we see nothing on Jon Snow for the entire year. Kind of like the way they left Bran off down there in the...
Or maybe until like the last episode of the season.
Right, yeah.
Well, I'm trying to avoid all spoilers, but wasn't there some spoilers released about this, Jon Snow? Or
There's some
whatnot?
theory spoilers about it. Yes, they keep saying, yes, well, Jon Snow is dead. Yes, he may be brought back to life, but he's technically dead.
In the trailer, you see his wolf, his dire wolf is actually in the trailer. Ghost. And a lot of people kind of felt like that could mean
he can warg into wolf, possibly, if you read the books about the wargs and what they can do.
Warg into wolves or whatever happened. He had tried to do it before. Maybe that happened.
And then some people talked about that quick shade of ice blue in the eyes, kind of like the White Walkers that was in there, that last scene.
It all goes back toward my theory that Jon Snow is going to lead the White Walkers as a White Walker himself.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Which is what I said last year in our. I think
you could have.
You could have. I can't even remember that.
As one of the many
ago.
theories, because again, we're talking Song of Ice and Fire. Everybody says, well, it's because Jon Snow is part Targaryen and part Stark. You've got the dragon, and you've got the Stark and the
True.
So now he's really going to be ice if he's in one of the White Walkers.
Right.
Yeah, that's if you go with the Lyanna plus Targaryen equals Jon Snow.
We do see in the trailers, we see the whites themselves on, horses heading into battle. We can only assume at the wall. So at some point, all those entities are going to meet up.
They have to all meet up
at the wall, which is where Jon Snow is going to be buried. In fact, one of the scenes in the trailers, you see the whites coming through where there's fire, and of course, we always know they burn the actual. When you die, they burn them.
Bodies.
They burn the bodies. It's very possible that they're coming in to stop that from happening. But, I mean, you can take the theories a long way, which a lot of people have. So
yeah, and so going with that, of course, Jon Snow, Melisandre, in the book, she realizes her magic powers are stronger at the wall because of the magical properties of the wall and all that kind of stuff. So the theory is Melisandre is going to bring her back with the kiss of life, as kind of how in the books, Beric Dondarrion was brought back to life by Thoros.
And that's true. Yes.
No, that was even in the show.
Yes, which would have also been, Catelyn Stark.
Yes.
Who eventually takes over Beric Dondarrion's place.
And when she comes
back. But that's left out of the TV series completely.
Right. Yes. Agreed.
So we don't know. And then, of course, Daenerys Targaryen, we're talking about. Tyrion's there, Varys is there. Jorah Mormont's there, so they kind of sped up what happened in the books to get to Daenerys there. So they're kind of ruling Meereen a little bit.
Yeah, because obviously in the books, Tyrion and Daenerys never met yet.
Not yet, yeah.
Oh, that was a great scene. Their talk or discussion in the TV show.
Yeah,
that was good.
And I think I like the way that they do it because you just can't capture the broad spectrum of the books. You've got to bring, just like they sent Kingslayer down to Dorne last year. You can't follow every single storyline, so you're going to be cutting out certain things. I am happy to see that it does look like they're bringing back the Greyjoy and the Iron Men back into the show. There's definitely shots that we see Yara. We see Theon having big roles in this season, so that's going to be good to see them come back too.
And they're going to be introduced. They haven't introduced any of their uncles yet, have they?
No, but Euron has been cast.
I think they're just pretty much going to make a conglomerate, all of the uncles into one.
Euron's going to be all.
Euron, and
Euron's going to take it. And actually, Blake and I were talking even before the show about whether or not they'll have the horn. That kind of lead, once Euron has that horn, he feels he has every right to go take the dragons and move forward. So we're gonna see that, which we haven't seen anything with the Iron Men for 2 seasons.
Yeah, something like that.
Is that right? Yara was going off to try to find Theon.
Well, Yara
also
was captured. Yara and her men were captured.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you're right. They were captured.
But they
somewhere around.
And with Stannis' army or whatnot.
Yep.
That was in the books.
And then in the show too?
No, I don't believe that was in the show too, because Stannis captures Yara.
Yeah.
And he's gonna marry her off to one of his night guys while they're camped out in Winterfell.
No, they did. They made it over. There was. I'm pretty sure in the show at one point. We'll have to look it up. We gotta.
Yeah. Now you gotta go back. Now I gotta watch last season again.
Yeah.
So confused.
No, I think it was 2 seasons ago.
The books
that
and
was
the
last
show.
that we saw them, and And regardless, it does seem like we'll see more of them too. So that's
more
I
Iron
like that
Islands.
a lot. I like that a lot. So
Shut up over there in the green room.
Now, exactly the same thing. Cersei's storyline pretty much ended the same as the books where they were.
Yeah.
She finishes with the Walk of Shame, and you see the reanimated, assumed to be the Mountain. Sir Strong.
As God is my witness, I will never go hungry again.
Yes. So Cersei's going to open up her can of revenge, whoop ass on the High Septon, in theory.
And everybody
And
else who
Marjorie.
gets in her way, she's about ready to go off.
Looks like she's, got her claws into Tommen and is able to manipulate him.
Yeah, and how...
According to the previews.
How happy do you think she'll be when she finds out Marcella's dead? Or we're assuming she's dead since she was poisoned.
I think
by
we're pretty
the,
sure that she's dead at
Sand
this point.
snakes, yes.
And since all her kids were predicted that they would die in her lifetime. Mm-hmm. So
now, after that, if
off.
Marcella is dead, then that only leaves Tommen.
Tommen is it.
So she's probably going to go freaky protection against him.
But if Marcella's dead, that pretty much leaves nothing left to happen in Dorne, right?
Except sand snakes.
Yeah, well, I suppose they're going to...
But the TV show would not have gone there if there wasn't something truly important to the end game that Dorne
I thought it was Marcella. That's the problem.
I know, but I do think, of course, we know that
They wrapped her story up real quick.
Yeah,
that George Martin couldn't do.
He can't wrap anybody's story up
Yeah.
quick, but no, because in Dorne, gender doesn't matter on who should take the crown. So I just thought it was going to be a Marcella versus Tommen fight,
Oh, that would have been interesting.
and that's where I thought it was going, but not if she's dead. So now I don't know where that's going at all.
No, I think they're going to send Illyria, or is that her name? Illyria Sand?
Illyria
I
Sand.
think they're going to send her to fight and ultimately try to take the crown herself. So Dorne's got to play a role. They would not have introduced all of that if they were just going to kill off Marcella.
Yeah, if they weren't going to...
Marcella was a minor character. In
They
the show
needed
to begin
something
with.
for Jaime and Bronn to do, I think.
Yeah, well, but that's the big difference in the books. Jaime's redemption story happens when he goes to the Riverlands
Yeah.
and solves all the problems up there and squashes the last of the rebellions and actually keeps his promise to Catelyn Stark.
Yeah, which was my biggest disappointment of the season last year was...
Yeah.
It's like, my favorite part of the book was Jaime's redemption, which they write off.
Yeah, completely. Instead, they sent him to Dorne for the Marcella story. Now, that doesn't mean, he won't go north.
I was
in
going to
the
say, it
series.
doesn't mean
So
that
what
he
are they going
can't-
to do with him now,
Yeah,
right?
because we're going to see him and I read somewhere we're going to see him and Brienne meet up again, and
Oh yeah,
And then I guess that wasn't in the one of the trailers. Wasn't there a High Septon and Jaime scene together, or am I misremembering?
No, there was, there is, yes.
So who knows? We'll see what happens with Jaime.
I'm so confused.
So confused. All right. So last we saw Theon and Sansa jump off, leap out of Winterfell. Now in the books, that's actually Jenna. What's her name? One of Sansa's friends, or that they pass off as Arya.
They pass off as the
fake
Arya.
So Theon takes her and saves her, but Sansa, and we know Sansa's well because we see her in a pretty dress in a place without snow. So we know she's going pretty well, and you see a dumb Littlefinger look on his face, like, huh?
What?
So-
You're supposed to be dead.
Yeah. So it is nice. A lot of people are anticipating that Sansa actually becomes kind of like the female Littlefinger in order for her to exact her revenge on everybody.
I pretty think that's where
Or Catelyn.
I think that's where her character arc is going in the books too. She's learning how to be devious.
She's going to learn how to play the game.
She's because
she's been innocent and stupid the whole time.
Yeah, innocent and stupid until everything bad starts happening to her, and then she's going to become a ruthless player in the Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
True, that'd be pretty cool. All right, and we know Brianna Tarth is out there hanging out somewhere, so maybe she hooks back up with
She
Sansa.
killed Stannis, although you don't believe that she killed Stannis.
They never actually show her killing Stannis. They cut away.
Yeah,
the last thing you got is Stannis saying, "Well, go ahead, do your duty."
I think. Well, they come out and said we didn't mean for it to come out as something. It's like he's dead. She killed him.
Okay.
I mean, they've been cryptic on Jon Snow, even though they're trying. Oh no, Jon Snow's
Jon
dead.
Snow is dead. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, with Stannis, they're like, no, he's dead.
Okay.
So.
All right. So.
Or they're going to pull a fast one on me.
Yeah.
But.
All right. So then that leaves Davos. Where's Davos? He's back at the wall.
Davos hasn't gotten to the wall.
No, he's at the wall. He's back at the wall.
On the TV show.
He's
yeah,
at
in
the
the
TV
show,
show. Okay.
he's at the wall. And at the
that's
very
right, he
end,
got
we see
back with
Melisandre
Melisandre.
come back,
Yeah.
and she's like this glazed look of,
Oh,
holy shit! I saw
Yeah.
in my fires that he was Azor Ahai, like reborn, and that was wrong. And then I saw that Jon Snow had something amazing with him, and now he's dead. Like, she's just completely confused at the fact that all these visions she had were
Are
quote
true.
wrong,
Or she misinterpreted.
or she misinterpreted. So
Or
she's
she's been
gonna-
manipulating everybody.
She's very likely to play a huge role in something that goes on at the wall here.
in this season.
Something
Or now that you
even bigger than
Exactly,
the
now that you
vagina
s-
monsters.
Exactly. Now that you stated that, halfway through episode 1, she leaves the entire.
She goes,
Leaves
I
the show
can't,
for the rest of the season."
I can't handle this. I'm leaving.
There goes that
in the first,
She kills herself.
yeah, in the first 10 minutes, she sacrifices herself to the White Walkers.
I thought I had that theory down. Okay, so interesting. So we're going to see teenage Bran, who
We are
obviously
gonna
has
see.
grown really fast.
The last season he was in was pretty awkward.
Bran
Yes.
is seen physically with what looks to be the White Walker King, right? Or one
Yes.
of the White Walkers.
Yes. Well,
What's
again,
up with that?
again, if he learns his
Seer.
magic, his seeing ability, you're going to see things where it looks like he's standing next to somebody experiencing what they're experiencing at that moment.
So you don't think he's actually
Which is why
with
we
the White
see
Walker, but he's
Brendan
seeing him.
Rivers, Max von Sydow, also standing in a trailer, showing himself standing fully, not a tree, not attached to anything, but showing him in his younger self, standing somewhere because he's seeing something. He's showing Bran how to see. So my guess is you're going to see a lot of, at least early on, for a couple episodes, we're going to see Max von Sydow, which is awesome, of course, because anything he's in is
Yeah,
awesome.
like episode 7.
Yeah, that
Hey, wait a
one.
minute.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be one of the neatest things we're going to see this year, because one thing that the show's gotten away from a lot in the last 2 years, I felt at least, is kind of like the magic and the.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got dragons and you see them, but one of the things a lot of
you
people
barely see 'em
are
anymore.
disappointed about is that
Yeah.
I'm watching this. We're 5 fucking seasons in, and the dragons have done nothing but grow up and stay in
They get locked into the...
in Meereen, and they're not going anywhere. Like, what the hell is
Dragons
the point of the
are locked
show?
underneath, and the one flies away and comes back once.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
like-
exactly. Yeah.
They,
so-
they like lambs and little children.
yes, they do. They do. Well, who does? Oh, wow.
And little lambs. Oh, do we want to edit that?
Oh, maybe we did that. Yeah, chop that one back. No, that was Max von Sydow speaking through me as a seer self.
Okay.
Green seer.
Yes.
That's the term we're
Green
looking for.
seer.
Green seer. All right, so that's interesting.
So how much Hodor do we get this season?
Hodor.
I think.
Hodor.
Because I'm just wondering, does Bran need Hodor anymore, or is Hodor just stuck north of the wall?
Who knows? We're going to find out more about Hodor this year, and anything that goes on with that is going to be going beyond anything that's been read by
Everybody.
book readers.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah.
Martin knows exactly what is going to be going on.
What up
that.
with Hodor?
So I still think Hodor is going to have a massive
Hodor.
play in this entire thing too. I think if anything,
I think you're going to be disappointed in that if you're expecting it. I could be wrong, but
I think there's going to be something going on. We'll see.
I think there was a interview with the guy that plays Hodor, and they asked him that, and I think he answered Hodor.
Hodor. He's got
Hodor.
to. Jason likes that too.
Hodor.
Sorry, I just walked
Hodor.
by.
Hodor.
Sorry.
Oh, and I suppose we're
right.
probably getting near the end, so we should probably get into Arya before
Well,
we're cut off.
yeah, well, you said, well,
Nice.
this was a clarification. Brendan River, Bloodraven, which is the green seer that Bran goes to see, is a Targaryen bastard.
Okay.
Yeah, he is a Targaryen bastard. So I guess he is related to a Stark though. Blackwood. No, I'm sorry. He's a Blackwood Targaryen, Blackfire Targaryen. Well, anyways, he's a Targaryen bastard.
Yeah, he was a Targaryen, as I remembered.
Yeah. So all right. So Arya, where her story is actually behind that of the books.
Yes.
In the TV show.
That's the one where we can catch up a little.
Yes.
Yes. So we'll catch up a little later. Everybody's excited because of the man with no face. What's his name?
Jaqen H'ghar?
Yeah, Jaqen. Yes. Everybody likes that. Likes seeing his character back and as the master. We don't even know if that's his real face, anyways.
We assume it's not. He can take on whatever face he wants. That's
so
just
we know,
the pleasant one for the viewers.
Yeah. So we know Arya is training. She's when she's blind, she learns to rely more on her senses, for defense. So she's learning to kick ass and all that kind of fun stuff. So that's kind of good. We're going to catch up with Arya. So everybody likes Arya's storyline and her arc and
but
her
you can
vengeance.
argue, what is the hell is the point of her story? There's got to be something.
Oh, there's some.
Right. So will we get that far, or are we only going to catch up like we caught up with, Daenerys and Jon Snow? And so the last we'll see of Arya, she's going to get her, she's going to
finish her training.
Spoiler alert, finish her training, kill somebody.
I think
present the gift
I think it'd be great if she kills Cersei.
So you think potentially, that she's on, Cersei's on her list.
Cersei is on her list.
Well, she's not going to be done until she kills everybody on her list, I think.
That's correct.
Yeah, she's well
Pretty
over
much.
halfway through at this point, unless you don't think the Hound is dead. We don't know about that either.
She removed the Hound from her list, whether it's because she thinks he's dead or
She left him to die,
himself.
so she thought he was dying.
Yeah.
So therefore,
or even if he doesn't die, she's okay with it. I don't know, but
Well, he did protect her, and they grew a form of a relationship over their travels. So I would say that's.
she's got the Mountain on her list, and with him being a walking zombie, how's that going to go?
that'll work out still pretty well.
Yeah, and apparently you can't just poison them. They tried that one.
True that. All right, so since we're coming to the wrap up here real quick, in regards to our Game of Thrones, before Jason cuts us off, the flashback to start the season. Everybody's excited, and they kind of believe that it's a Tower of Joy flashback. Or at least that's what the anticipation and expectation is.
It probably isn't. That what Ian McShane?
Yeah, Ian McShane says he plays the casting was for an adept swordsman who would fit the Morning Sword.
And I thought he made a comment that I think they were upset that he made, that he was playing stuff in flashback or something.
Right.
I thought his character was only seen in flashback.
You didn't think you would see again, which could be in reference to Ed Stark.
Oh, you think it might be a young Ned Stark?
Yeah, because it's a young Ned Stark.
It'd have to be a younger Ned. Yeah. So
Younger Ned
How
Stark.
much younger is Ian McShane than
Well, the Morning
Sean
Lord.
Bean? I don't
No,
know.
the Knight of the Morning Sword was, a senior
Dane.
Kingsguard.
Yeah.
That which explains why he was there at the tower where Targaryen, where Rhaegar supposedly and Lyanna were hanging out at.
Where Lyanna gave birth, apparently to someone that may or may not be Jon Snow.
Yes. So the only two people alive that know what happened at the Tower of Joy, it was Ned Stark, who's now dead,
So he's not
who
alive.
survived, and
Right.
Howland Reed, which is the Reed's two kids.
Mirren Jojen's father.
Jojen and his sister. Who
Right.
accompanied-
Jojen's dead now in the TV show.
Yeah. And apparently dead in the books too.
Yes, Jojen is dead, but
Was he dead in the
Mira
books?
is alive.
Bran drinks his blood. They feed the fairies feed Jojen's blood to Bran.
Well, did they drain them all? I mean, come on, people take my blood all the time, and I'm not dead yet.
Not
I
dead
could go
yet.
for a walk.
I'm not dead yet. I'm feeling better. Jojen, I'm
I'm
feeling
gonna be
better
dead
now. No, you're dead. All right, go ahead, take them.
I could be wrong, but I never got.
Well, then
I gotta go back and reread all
there's
the books.
also the fact that not just Bran, but also Rickon.
Rickon.
Rickon's
And now
supposed to come
Rickon
back, isn't he?
is
Rickon's with
there
what's
was
her name?
there was rumor that
OSHA.
OSHA and
Not to be confused with Asha.
Yeah.
is why they
Probably
changed
why
her
they
name to
chose
Yara.
Yara.
Asha was seen also along with the guy who plays Renly Baratheon at the premiere, and so did every other actor who's in the.
Who's ever been in the?
No, not who has ever been.
Oh.
The actors who are currently in this season's episodes. They walked the red carpet.
And Renly Baratheon was there.
Apparently.
I don't know.
So there could be more flashbacks. Obviously, he's not kicking it still, and
he's pretty much been dead.
he died 2 seasons ago. So I don't know. There could be several flashbacks, which is a way that they talked about doing, kind of slowing the progress of the show down in order to not get too far ahead of the books, so that they could still get. They said, if Martin can get Winds of Winter out, and I guess probably a good
Next year,
way to finish this is to say
10
if he
years
can
from now.
get Winds of Winter out, and the way it's going now, it's working just the same way that not Dance with Dragons, but when he had to split the other two up. Storm of Swords and
Feast for Crows.
Yeah, he had to break those two up. And it's obvious because when you're reading both of those books separately, you're missing all of these.
Yeah, you're missing half the story.
Half the storyline, and then you got to read the second book to get the rest of it. Winds of Winter is
Dance with
turning
Dragons.
into that right now. He said it's gotten so big, it's so long that he now has to take this one. He's got one more book to write on top of it, but Winds of Winter will finish as a single book, but very likely would be
in 2 parts.
Almost 2 parts.
He's supposed to have 2 books left. Now it's going to be 3.
Well, maybe 3, but regardless, if he can get Winds of Winter out, that will cover easy 3 seasons of Game of Thrones. So if he can get it out, so this year you'll catch up a little bit to it, but if he can get it out, then you got 3 more years for him to finish, which he won't. He won't. But then maybe Game of Thrones stops there, and then they do the final movie or whatever they've talked about doing.
No, there's going to be no movie, they said.
Yeah, say that now, but
throw
3
years
enough
from
Jack
now.
at them, they'll do it.
Give
Exactly.
me 4 years
Throw
from
enough
now
money.
when we're sitting here wondering where the fuck the next book is, and Game of Thrones is about ready to finish, and you're like, all the book readers are going to say, well, what the hell, and maybe they try to release it together, or maybe they do a movie, and they say, this is, what way we envision this show to end, but, the book will be out in 2 years, and we'll end it that way. My guess is you'd get a lot less people buying the books if you finished it, the TV show, or as a movie, or whatever.
Really.
You just wouldn't get people buying the books. Some people may really like the ending of the movie and be like,
screw it.
Good.
I ain't reading
what
it.
the hell do I need to read
Why
this
do
for?
I need to read
It
3,000
would make
pages?
no sense for Martin to not at least release the book and the movie at the same time.
All right,
Jason's
And
timer from the green room. So, all right. So, at the end of season 6, where do you want to see the TV show at? Jeff.
Cancel.
shut up over there.
The end of
where
season
do I
6,
wanna
where do you want to see it at?
I want to see probably Daenerys at least crossing the damn sea and getting over into Westeros.
Okay.
I want to see Arya really ready to kill people. I'm not sure where Bran's going, so that's a complete guess. I would like to see Sansa, be able to start controlling people. And Cersei's going to go crazy, but she'll still be alive because you need an antagonist. Jaime and Brienne will hook up. Woo. And Sam is going to learn a whole bunch of crap at the college.
Oh, yeah. We forgot all about Samwell's going to Old Town where the Meisters are to learn about the dragons and get everybody's help. All right.
Yeah, Jason, we need 10 more minutes to talk about Samwell Tarly.
I got 3 pages to go.
I've got 2 pages on Samwell.
All right, Chris, where do you want to see it at the end of season 6? Where do you want to see it at?
The only thing I care about is to not have too many book spoilers. I'd love to see them catch Arya up, catch us up on Bran. Mm-hmm. I'd love to have them even catch us up on where Rickon is. And I'm actually personally perfectly fine with Dany being hung out to dry with the Dothraki and dragons.
For the entire season?
For the entire season. Because they're not going anywhere anyway. If we start going that direction with it, then we're far beyond, where we're going to be with Winds of Winter in the book.
God, we've already gone through 5 seasons of her doing nothing.
Yeah. I'm happy to go through 1 or 2 more seasons of her doing essentially nothing. I mean, she looks good doing it.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. It's like if she's doing nothing, they're going to cut her out.
I am worried about that. I mean, obviously, we're going to see some of her because if you cut her out entirely, you're going to lose some people. But yeah. I think I just don't want it. I don't want them to advance anybody's storyline so far that they have completely spoiled Winds of Winter, which I'm telling you will be out by Christmas of this year.
You said that last year.
He's going to say it again next year.
By Christmas of this year. No, next year. No, this year. I agree with everything you guys say. I'd like to see the Sansa transformation.
What would you like to see?
Cersei's going to get over on everybody. So I think Marjorie is in for a world of hurt.
She might die.
Maybe.
Possibly.
I would like to see, the Hound actually be alive and come back and kill his brother, the animated mountain. I think that'd be pretty cool. I have no idea what the hell they're going to do with Jaime. His storyline is completely wacko. At the moment. I'd like to see Arya complete her damn training with the Faceless Men, the assassins, and start going off on her own. I'd like to see... Actually, I wouldn't mind if Jon Snow stays dead for the entire season and they bring him back at the end. That'd be great. Same with Daenerys. Can we get her over to the fucking continent, please?
Why?
With the dragons?
If you move her, if all of a sudden you bring into Westeros and these dragons are
or at
coming
least
over,
head that
that's how
way.
you're going to end the
Head that
season.
way?
You're not going to end the season
head
with
that
both.
way.
I can
All
tell you
right.
that. You're not going to end it with both. You're either going to get Jon Snow being resurrected, or you're going to get dragons coming across the sea.
Yeah.
One or the other.
I need a lot of Dinklage.
But see, we got the
I need a lot of Tyrion.
We didn't even talk about Tyrion.
The Iron Men are coming over, so you now have this entire separate storyline of Tyrion and Varys and all of them over in Meereen.
Euron Greyjoy is going to screw all that up
You've
in
got
Meereen
the dragons
for
over
her.
there. They're going to
That's
stay
right.
over there and have their own little fucking soap opera. Let them do their thing. Let Westeros have its thing, and then next year
And the
we'll
Wall
hopefully
have
Winds
its
of Wonder,
thing.
and we'll have.
I would like some of the mystery cleared up about the White Walkers.
I think some of it will get cleared up, or else
a lot will get cleared up.
I think a lot of it
otherwise,
cleared up. I don't need
there's
the big
nothing, nowhere else to go north of the wall until.
I don't need the big spoiler. That's fine. I will have a viewer orgasm if they do start with the Tower of Joy flashback.
All right.
So
a Blake orgasm is what we're
Game
looking
of
for.
Thrones
Yeah,
watch
so I will have my
party has just
Kleenex.
been canceled.
Kleenex pulled out just in case.
So
There
next
you go.
Tuesday, we'll know
If I came or not.
Top 5 music this week from... I don't know if this was from anybody's, was it? Oh, yeah, this was from Doug. Was
Doug,
it?
yes? I don't know. It was
No,
on,
no, this was Dr. Bednar, actually.
Wow. I can say you got no respect.
Oh, yeah, that's why we invited him on this week.
There's no respect.
Actually, we invited him on for Game of Thrones. I'm sorry if you're not a Game of Thrones fan. You listened to that half-hour soliloquy. Welcome. I'm back. For those...
If you listen to this so you can listen to Jason, we're sorry that we gave you some good entertainment for the last half hour, but now we're back to our regular bad stuff.
What about that Worsley guy? What a dick. Anyways,
Wow!
moving on. Our top 5 this week. Most talented Saturday Night Live cast members. Not our favorite, most talented is what we're saying.
Right.
I had to pick my favorites.
That's fine. That's pretty much what we all did. We're saying most talented. They had the best skill. I think everybody had kind of their own take
definition
on it.
of what we mean by talent.
Yeah. I did.
Robin Duke is everyone's number one, I'm assuming.
No.
And Matthew Lawrence. I mean, I don't know about you guys.
I had Anthony Michael Hall.
Can we get him Dark
Robert
Horse and
Downey
Matthew
Jr.
Lawrence? I think we should. We should.
Yes.
Number 6 for everybody is Matthew Lawrence.
Yes, Matthew Lawrence, you're the man.
All right.
1981, what a great year. So, Bednar, Doctor, you are our guest, so you're our first person to go. What's your number 5?
Woo! All right.
Let's do this.
For my number 5, I had to Hobie it.
I think we all did.
I've got a tie for
I
2. There are only 2, though. I'm going to go with Robert Downey Jr.,
Okay.
although it was only on there for 1 season.
Actually, it's one of the worst seasons ever.
I
Yes,
think I
exactly.
can tell you though, because he's still. It doesn't matter if you're only on it for one season. You still are an alum.
Yeah.
And my tie with him would be Dennis Miller, only because that's Blake's number one.
It's not my number one.
I'm sorry, who's your second pick?
Dennis Miller.
Oh, no. Okay.
But yes.
He's on your list?
He's probably the... Well, he's not actually not on the list.
Oh,
What?
But he is my favorite news guy.
he's great at the news. The biggest
SNL
problem
news.
is that's all he did was the news.
That's it. Yeah, if you're the news guy, that's pretty much all you do.
Some of them
mostly.
do more.
Although,
give or
you know,
take,
Kevin
but-
Nealon did other stuff. And,
Yeah, he
but
was
he's the news
Franz
guy.
or Hans, one of them.
Yeah.
Mr. Subliminal.
Go ahead, Blake. What's your number 5?
There's so many. Number 5, I kind of went off the books for this one. One of the most talented. I think everybody loved Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy.
So Jack Handy is yours.
Yes.
All right.
A little slightly unconventional. I understand.
So wait,
But
a
Deep
person
Thoughts
who
with
you
Jack
don't even
Handy.
see the
Exactly.
face of is the
That's
most
what's so
talented.
great.
Okay, just saying.
I just hope that if the dogs take over the world, they don't pick their leaders by size, because I think there are some Chihuahuas with some really good ideas.
Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy. See? That's genius.
I love them.
Who did
I'm
the
not
voice
saying-
of Jack Handy?
Gee.
Jack Handy.
Jack Handy.
No.
I think that's
Yeah.
his name.
Okay. I can't wait for when Blake's number 1 is Al Franken.
Oh, no.
I can't wait.
Well, I mean, come on. He's very talented. You know, he can do some comedy, some, running of the country. I mean, he's everyone's favorite.
Is your number 5?
You know,
Matthew?
he was a shitty SNL actor, and he's a shitty Democrat. So,
We got a question for next week about Al Franken.
Oh, okay.
From number 1 fan. Anyways.
Of course. Because I love myself. People love me, and gosh darn it.
Is your number 5 Matthew
I'm
Lawrence?
good enough.
It isn't. He was my honorable mention.
Oh,
number
okay.
6.
Ah,
Is your number 5 Matthew Lawrence?
No, he's an honorable mention.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Well, I hobied the shit out of my number 5.
Oh, Jesus.
So-
Are there 5 number 5s?
There are, actually. Now that you mention it.
now that you mentioned it, well, yeah.
There's a reason they all tie together here.
I tried. I purposely
I know you
didn't
did.
Hobie this.
I didn't either.
And
Purposely didn't. I'm glad somebody picked up the slack. You guys picked
and
the
I'm going
slack
to
up.
say, I hobied this. There's a reason behind this. And if one of the people on my list is in your list, we won't count it as taking it off the list.
All right.
All right.
Because I did this. It's pretty much
I got 20 people at number 5.
season 10. Season 10, the Dick Ebersol year.
1987?
84, 85.
Okay, who is it?
All the guys that Dick Ebersol brought on after trying to switch up the cast of the Billy Crystal years. So
thought
Billy
Billy
Crystal,
Crystal only had
Harry
1 year.
Shearer. Yeah, the 1 year.
He
Billy
was actually a
Crystal-
guest for that season, and
No,
he
he
loved
was-
it so much he asked if he could stay for the season, and they let him.
Well, Billy Crystal, Harry Shearer, Christopher Guest,
Yes.
Martin Short, and Rich Hall.
Yes.
He brought those 5 on
Yes.
with a couple other people. That's my number 5.
Was that the year that they had the synchronized swim
Yes.
team
I
Olympics?
know you. I know you.
I know you.
I mean, there was a lot of
can't
great stuff on there, but they only lasted a year
I can't swim.
because pretty much
I can't swim.
they were all leaving the next year because they just didn't like the hectic schedule. Because the biggest difference was they brought in people who were already famous and had already become fairly well-known names,
Right.
and so
Second
they brought
City
them on.
TV.
Right.
And so then they went back. The next year, they went back to Lorne Michaels, and he said, "I'm starting over." And unfortunately, that was the Anthony Michael Hall, Robert Downey season.
Great actors, but not good
Sketch.
Not great
improv.
for yeah.
Not good improv actors.
But then they got their footing back after that.
They did.
Yeah.
But I had to lump all these people together,
Okay.
mainly because of the famous before the thing. They're not really the Saturday Night Live guys. They're guys who were on Saturday Night Live after they were famous.
My number 5, I kind of hobied it. I did the cast from 1988 to 2011.
You hoed it worse than me.
The entire
I just did it because of you asshole. Oh, the whole season. Anyways,
I just picked one season, not freaking.
So you picked all the not ready
years.
for primetime actors along with the premiere and special guests.
My number 5 actually was Martin Short. I love Martin Short.
Okay.
I loved his characters.
He's my number 4.
Is he?
Yes.
Put it on the
I love
board.
Martin Short and all his characters and a lot of fun. That's why I didn't say anything because Jeff gave me the waiver to not.
I gave the waiver.
Now it's
'cause-
officially been
But
taken.
now it's
from you.
officially been
You're done.
taken because it was involved in 5 years cast members from Jason.
I only did one. Martin Short.
He did.
I
He
didn't
was
Hobie
kidding.
it
He
this
was
year.
kidding.
To his credit.
Oh, he was kidding.
Yeah.
I thought you were serious.
No. I
only
didn't
did the
Hobie
one,
it this
yeah.
year.
Okay.
So number 4 for me is because when I think about it, she did a great job on the news, and she had some good what do you call it? She had some good character. She was fun to be on the show, and she's had a great run since then.
Gilda Radner?
No, I'm never a Gilda Radner fan. I never was. I'm actually going with Amy Poehler. I'm going
Poehler.
going younger.
Yeah, Amy Poehler was on my short list.
She's on my honorable mention.
Tina Fey was up there, but she kind of annoys me. Amy Poehler, I'm always on the lookout for a future wife. Hopefully my wife doesn't hear that. But
She
Amy
doesn't
Amy Poehler is up there.
Looking for your Barbara Keene.
Yes. Ooh, I like that reference. I love Burke. Hey, move on. But yeah, so I'm going Amy Poehler.
I like it. Now I feel disappointed because I didn't put any women on my list.
Oh, neither did I.
I didn't meet the Bechdel test.
Oh, you failed the.
I failed the Bechdel test.
Jeff, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Phil Hartman.
It's my number 1, you motherfucker.
It's my number 2.
That's my 4, but I hobied 4, so I've still got one left.
Okay.
Yes, Phil was my number 2.
Phil.
He was.
I
awesome.
just-
As much as you hate me, Blake, we're very similar on our page.
I was thinking for a
'cause I
while
hate
that
myself,
Phil Hartman could be like the underrated one. But I'm glad to
I
see
hate
that
myself.
I had a feeling. I know Jason's a big
he was
fan of Phil
well
Hartman.
respected
Love
amongst
Phil
all
Hartman.
of his peers.
I just felt we're talking, talent and just judging, based on what they did on the show and then continued to do afterwards or
And
whatever.
he can play a lot of characters.
He was great at playing characters. That's why he made the list.
Very
He
good.
was
He
great
can-
at doing, voices.
he could do the
Loved
sketch,
Him,
yeah.
Simpson voices that he did. And
He can do the sketches. He
Well,
did the
and
mock
then-
commercials. He did all.
Not
he
only
did
that,
it
but
all.
what do you do? And then the part of what I was always checking, what did you do after SNL? Were you
Yes.
talented enough to have a career
Continuation.
after SNL?
Yes.
News
And
radio.
News Radio was one of the best and most underrated
Yes.
sitcoms of
Yes.
all time. Like,
And
I
unfortunately, his
love-
life was cut short after that.
It even made Andy Dick tolerable.
It even made Andy Dick tolerable.
And that shows you something.
That should have been NBC's advertising. This show makes Andy Dick tolerable. Please watch.
Phil Hartman makes Andy Dick tolerable.
Makes
Phil Hartman
Andy
tames the dick.
Wait a minute, Phil Hartman makes any dick tolerable? Wait a minute.
Right. Phil Hartman tames the dick
A little aside here, since we're
with
talking,
super colon blow.
talking news radio. I was I like to watch the Craig Ferguson hosted Celebrity Name Game game show, and Dave Foley was a celebrity guest the one time, and they came up and they're like, "All right, well, the names there's going to be names in this category. They're all going to be people who have played prostitutes," and Dave Foley goes, "Wow, I could actually be on this list." So he goes up to to help guess, and the contestants go back and forth between the celebrity and their partner on this. The one lady, Dave Foley's name comes up. She points at him and goes, "Him!" And the one lady didn't know what his name was. I felt so bad for
Good
Dave
old
Foley
Dave.
there.
Jeff, what's your number 4?
Hey, speaking of next week, we're gonna
That
pick
was my
our
number 4,
Are we gonna
Phil
pick
Hartman.
our favorite Kids in the Hall casts?
We should.
Oh, wait a minute. There's a limited number.
Yeah, there is. But you can still rank them
Dave
1
Foley?
through 1 through 4.
I'm going Hobie, all of them at
I want
number
Bruce
5.
McCulloch at number
Yeah.
1.
Nope, I'm Hobieing them all at 5.
I don't have a fourth or third or a second or what.
They all are equal to me. They're all number 5.
All right.
Just squish your head.
Jeff, what's your number 4?
That was my number 4, Phil Hartman.
Okay.
So we're going
Yeah,
on to
go ahead.
Chris's number 4.
No, Blake.
Well, I had 2 on my number 4, a tie.
Well, that's right. Blake is supposed to go before
I had
you.
4.
Yeah, what was your number
It
4?
was Martin Short.
Okay,
Oh,
moving on. Doctor?
My
Doctor.
So I had a tie at 4 from Phil Hartman and Bill Hader. And
Hartman and Hader.
Yep.
You tried on Hater, right? Really?
I mean, I tried.
You really want to put Hater up there?
Where?
Absolutely,
Why?
I would.
How? What character did
Hater
Hater do that
saved
was awesome?
several of those years in my mind of some
was
below
okay.
average talent. You're sitting there, talking about how you hated like Tina Fey and you didn't like
I didn't
Kristen
mind
Wiig.
Tina Fey, but
And you didn't like, pretty much half that cast, but Bill Hader was the glue that held that all together, man. He was most talented. And actually, have you seen him in the one he did with Kristen Wiig, the Skeleton?
the Skeleton Key.
Yeah. No,
Or something like that,
No,
Skeleton,
shit.
I know what you're talking about. It's on Netflix.
He's actually fantastic in it. She's not that good, but
What, The Last Man on Earth or something?
No.
no.
It's Skeleton something. It's a movie. He was actually tolerable in Trainwreck. He was actually pretty funny in that with Amy
Yes, he
Schumer.
was, yes.
He was funny in that.
He's
Tolerable. He was actually tolerable in
was actually-
Trainwreck.
Again, according to Nickel, I hate everyone. So I
see him do Al
tolerable is fine.
Pacino. I mean, it's fantastic.
That's true.
I mean, he's actually very, very talented. I think he'll have a long career still. So,
What's your number 3, Doctor?
Jimmy Fallon, which prompted this whole thing because I said, is Jimmy Fallon the most talented overall of SNL?
No.
No.
Why would you say it?
No. Because he's taken what he does well and he's moved it into a talk show.
Yeah.
That's basically him
I
and
saw
what he did on
Taxi.
He
the
doesn't
Saturday
have
Night
just a
Live.
talk show.
I saw Taxi.
He doesn't have just a talk show. That's the thing.
That's right. It's a karaoke
Him
show.
and Queen Latifah.
He does his
a
own
karaoke and
musical
dance?
work. He works with the Roots. He's done a lot of musical work, actually. And you could say, well, Adam Sandler did music. No, Adam Sandler didn't do fucking music.
Oh, you can say that one
Jimmy
annoying
Fallon is talented
guy with
enough
long
to
hair
do
that
a
played the
lot of
guitar in the Saturday Night Live band was just as talented.
G.E. Smith?
Yeah.
He's my number one.
Well, you're not allowed to start taking people.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. That was Buster
he
Poindexter.
played with Hall & Oates, for fuck's sake.
We're talking about talent.
Jimmy Fallon did?
No, wasn't G. Smith? the
Yeah.
Hall
And
&
the
Oates
Saturday Night
guitarist?
Live band.
Yeah.
Nah,
Fallon's
Buster
my number
Poindexter
3.
was the better of the.
Hot.
Buster Poindexter.
Hot. Okay, what's your number 3, Blake?
My number 3 was Mike Meyer.
He was an honorable mention for me.
And I can almost pair him with Dana Carvey just because of
The Wayne's
the
World.
Wayne's World.
Dana Carvey just missed my list. I love Dana Carvey.
Dana
but
Carvey's
he
got
just
a lot of
missed it.
stuff, but the church woman was really annoying to me.
What? It
Exactly.
was good the first 2 times, and then it just...
Yeah, what
petered
made me
out.
say that was Satan.
See, that was funny. I'm laughing.
Well, you have a low sense of humor. You're not articulate.
Yeah, I'm laughing at you.
No, yeah, Mike Myers. I loved his stuff. Sprockets, Wayne's World.
on Sprockets where we dance.
Yeah, I mean,
Linda
it wasn't-
Richmond on Coffee Talk.
Oh,
Yes.
I hated Coffee Talk. Oh, I
So
hated it.
great,
Yeah.
I
great
loved
to
it
be
just because he was
annoying.
making fun of his mother-in-law.
Yeah,
I know, I hated
I didn't
Coffee.
even like Mike Myers until he did Austin Powers.
I didn't like him until he did Mystery Alaska.
I
10
didn't.
minutes he's in it.
I didn't like him until he did Love Guru.
well, wasn't he
I
technically
didn't
the,
like him until he did Studio 64.
wasn't he technically the first SNL spin-off movie that was actually successful?
I think
Wayne's
so.
World?
Brothers?
What?
No, you also had Blues
Spies
Brothers.
Like Us, Blues Brothers.
Well,
Sounds
wait
like
a minute.
us
They
wasn't
did
a
Blues Brothers, and
Spin-off of.
but
They
they
have
think they
actors from
Blues
it, but
Brothers
not a skit
showed up
from
on
it.
SNL after Blues
No, it
Brothers.
wasn't. Okay,
No,
I
we
see
didn't.
what
Talked
you're
about this
saying.
earlier.
Actors
Yeah, we
from it,
talked
so
about
you're-
this episodes ago,
We did.
didn't we?
Yeah, and you were wrong then. The
I'm
Blues
still
Brothers
wrong.
started
It
on.
was a Saturday Night Live
It
skit.
started on Saturday Night Live.
All right, the second one.
Matter of fact, the Blues Brothers started as the Killer Bees skit.
Boneheads. Oh, wait, sorry.
Oh, that was a terrible movie.
That was so horrible. That was a horrible skit. I never saw the
I understood why that was so
Oh, I liked it
popular.
because they drank mass quantities.
that
I
was your
still
number
don't get
3?
it. Like I don't.
Yeah, all right. So my number 3 was Mike Myers.
What's
I
your
said
number
that.
3, Jeff?
My number 3 is Tina Fey.
Oh, okay.
I think she is a very good.
So that's an okay, but Bill Hader is like, God.
I think she's a
Hating on
very good
Hader.
writer and producer. I like her acting. I like her imitate. Oh, she does Sarah Palin perfectly.
She does good sales.
And I
here.
put that into that whole talented category. 'Cause
Yeah,
she did a lot of the writing on the show before
Yes.
she ever actually was on.
Yeah,
the
that's
She
show.
was
like-
actually very funny with
And
Amy
she-
Poehler on the news.
She had
Yes,
a.
and she
I
was
did like
fantastic
them
on the
together
news.
on
She
the
has a
news.
book that was on the New York Times bestseller list.
Who hasn't?
Me.
No.
She's one up on pretty much everybody
Well,
that you've mentioned so far on your
You're
list.
illiterate, so that's why. Or illiterate. I can't
That's
figure it out.
illegitimate.
Whatever.
But Tina Fey is my number 3.
My number 3 is Bill Murray.
Okay.
I like Bill Murray. He
He
would be on my honorable list. Yeah.
I think he's just a funny guy. That's it. I
He's
don't
just a
find
funny
him as
guy.
More talented is
Well,
Yeah,
he?
but
what-
then
what-
he went on to
but what-
Caddyshack. He had a lot
Yeah,
of
he did
talent.
all that stuff. But what Saturday Night Live skit is
The
Bill
Christmas
Murray?
episode.
Which
Remember
one was
when he
that?
did,
Star Wars.
All right, so he
We're
did the Lounge
talking about
Singer.
Star Wars.
Land Sharks.
That was Chevy Chase.
Land
Yeah,
Shark.
I know.
All right, so he did the Vegas Lounge Singer.
He
I love
did
the Vegas
the
Lounge.
Nerds. The 2 teenage nerds who
They put
put their glasses on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I
All right,
said
with
Llama.
Gilda Radner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep. And then he went on to have a huge career. We're
Yeah,
talking.
so I'm talking talent, everything.
For the effort. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
So I got that going for me.
All right.
You get that going for me.
I'm just going to
okay.
move to number 2.
And he's done some good dramatic acting too.
Yes.
Post SNL.
Yeah.
I was
I'm
thinking
taking everything.
on SNL.
I did take a lot on
I
SNL.
thought it was on SNL.
I did.
And he's a
All right.
golfer.
But I also
So
did.
there is some talent there, right?
Yeah.
I took what he did on SNL, but I also took what I did factor
Overall.
into overall.
Okay. All right.
I did mostly
I
SNL,
understand.
but I added a little. Number 2, he saved the show. Was Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. No, not.
He's my number 1.
He's my number one.
I figured that'd be everybody's number 1. And the only reason you get credit for that is because you put him lower.
I put him at 2 because I like Phil Hartman better.
Because you knew
Well, we
people were
took
going to
your
have Eddie
one
Murphy
away.
as number one.
I love Phil Hartman better.
It was a devious
did it on
spotting.
purpose.
I'll put it. The reason Eddie Murphy makes number 1 is because he had a hit song.
Eddie?
Eddie.
Looking for love and all
So
the
did
wrong
Adam Sandler,
places.
unfortunately.
Buckwheat.
What song did
Sings
Adam
the
Sandler
classic.
have?
Lunch Ladyland was actually like a top.
So it was Hanukkah song.
Hanukkah was too.
well,
I know. Yeah.
He had a hit song that was a real
Wait,
song,
hold on
not
a
just a
second.
stupid
Is
comedy
somebody comparing Adam Sandler to Eddie Murphy?
song. I don't think.
Shut the fuck up.
He just said Eddie Murphy had a hit song. He's talking about.
Yeah, was it Hot Tub?
No. Until
talking about.
I'm talking about girl loves to party all the time, party
He's
all the
saying that's a
time,
hit song,
party
Blake.
all the
I just want to confirm
time.
this, okay?
All right, but that was because he was such a good singer on SNL.
I'm gonna vomit.
Did
right
Eddie
now.
Murphy do Grown Ups? Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Eddie Murphy was, I think, the only person to host the show while still a cast member.
No, I did not take it. I did.
Because it was ratings were down to
Well,
nothing.
that's the thing.
Because the host they had canceled at the last minute,
They
and
fired
he had
everybody else in the cast.
and he had a movie. I think it was when like 48
Hey, why
hours
don't you
was
just do
coming
stand
out.
up this week and we're gonna just record
Time
that.
out though. I did not take Eddie Murphy just to knock everybody off. Jeff knows my love for Phil Hartman.
Yeah,
I think that's great.
And that is my thing. I love Phil Hartman.
I figured we all would put Eddie Murphy number 1.
I think he's- I
actually
think he-
figured we
I
would.
thought
Yeah.
I thought he was the number one.
I think Eddie Murphy
regardless.
is probably more talented than Phil Hartman, but I have a soft spot for Phil Hartman.
And you wanted to fuck us all in our number one.
You know what? They fuck you in the drive-through. They fuck you.
That's it.
I'm glad I fucked you on your Phil Hartman then.
That doesn't
I
sound
can't
right.
believe that you gave Eddie Murphy a hit song. That's such a worst
Well, look
song.
how many songs on SNL
Oh
he
my
actually made
God.
famous, though. He's got a lot
Like
of
Wook and
them.
Ponub
Looking
And
for
all the
love.
and Hot Tub.
It's gonna make you sweat. Hey,
Stick my foot in. Yeah.
Buckwheat sings the hit.
Buckwheat sends the hit.
Glad this was our premiere episode on Google.
See, we
Hey,
saved
they
it
can
with
get
Eddie
all
Murphy.
our back
All of our
categories.
And we
libraries there.
saved it with
All right,
Eddie
we
Murphy.
still all have one, right? So.
No,
No.
I did number 1, right?
Oh, you're
Yeah,
done?
but we
guys did
haven't
all-
done our
I all
number
got
two.
my
mine.
number 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jeff, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Dana Carvey.
Okay.
And a car. My number 2 is Phil Hartman.
Okay.
And number 1, of course.
My number 2 is
Eddie
John
Murphy.
Belushi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger. Is that all he had?
Thank
That's
you.
all he did.
Right, yeah, that's
Oh, and
all he
the
ever did.
samurai. What was his name?
No,
the
he was
samurai.
definitely
Deli?
never in Blues Brothers, which was a massive hit on the film front. He was never
was a better
in
movie than a
Animal
skit.
House. Wow,
Thank
that
you.
was a horrible
Animal House was a movie, not Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
We're not talking about who was
That's
supposed
what I'm applying my standards to.
I just like how Blake, when he doesn't like your comedy, he just- he becomes a Tasmanian devil. Or he's motoring, moody
Sorry.
motorboat, motherfucker. The whole point is the most talented SNL cast members,
You guys
regardless
need to
of what
clarify this shit
they
before I
did.
fucking go through this
No,
shit.
you're allowed to interpret it whatever way you
Well, I
want.
But
can't.
don't yell at us because we interpreted it
Well, I
different.
get it because
That's all
I'm
I'm
right.
saying.
We have tried doing the rules, and nobody listened.
Yeah,
so
I'm
we
not,
just
I'm not saying
stopped.
we did actually tell you what we meant last week, and you came up with your own interpretation.
What I really enjoy
Yeah,
about
but
all
how
of
does it
this
affect me? That's what I want to know.
is that this is exactly what I'm doing in my car while listening to you guys, like yelling at you, going, "What are you talking about? Fucking Eddie Murphy with a top 50 hitter! What are you talking about? John Belushi had no talent. You freaking idiot! You're the no talent ass clown."
That's why you need to put
That's
your,
what I want to say
Don't
to you guys.
say
I have an
other than
opportunity
Blues,
right now.
Blues
to say-
Brother, Samurai Dude, what other notable characters that SNL does John Belushi have?
I agree.
He is the guy in the little chocolate
I'm
donuts
not
commercial.
asking whether
That was funny when he's running the track. I will say that.
What
That's funny.
notable character did Robert Downey Jr. play? I put him on my
Cokehead?
list because he's an extraordinarily talented actor.
I couldn't even tell you.
Talented.
I can't even tell you
Talented.
what SNL
Negan.
character he did.
Talented Negan?
It's the most Negan SNL cast members.
The most Negan castmaster. Yeah, I can't even tell you what he did on SNL. Robert Downey Jr.
You're right.
That's fine. I don't
Exactly.
He was in Back to School. Was that a skit?
care. I don't care if
He's
he
got to
had.
be good.
That's true.
All right, John Belushi. I remember he was the Incredible Hulk and stunk up the bathroom in the superhero skit.
Okay, I'll give you that. And he did the little chocolate donuts. Those are my two favorites.
If Robert De Niro was a cast member for 1 year
Hey, cheeseburger. He's one of the cheeseburger guys.
and had no skit other than wiping his ass in a toilet, he would still be on the list as the most talented because he's an alum of SNL. That's the way I saw it.
I saw the intern. He's okay with it. It was pretty much the same thing.
Yeah,
Actually, one thing I like that Blake did bring up was the
G.E.
band.
Smith.
the band.
Yeah, like that. I didn't think of that. Very, very.
You would have
talented.
put Paul Schaefer on your list then, wouldn't you have?
I would've done
I
G.E.
should have
Smith.
considered it. I mean, Paul Schaefer has been. There's
Honestly, yeah, because of
There's
his
a
music
history.
talent and whatnot, it's kind of why I put Dana
Well,
Carvey as
when
high
we
as I did.
exactly.
When
I
we
mean,
do our Saturday
chopping
night,
broccoli.
when we do our Saturday Night Live episode only about Saturday Night Live, we can also do a top 5 favorite skits. We can do top 5 favorite characters and top 5 favorite host. Look at that. Or we can just talk about it all.
there you
So
go.
there you go.
Is
Blake,
there any
I-
time that Christopher Walken will not make that list?
He's on skit character and host.
He
Yeah.
is.
he is the triple crown.
He's got all the
Two best Christopher Walkens. Well, that was the one, the cowbell, of course, which
Yes.
is famous.
Right.
And the other one where he's the creepy part, the creepy date
Where
to
you
the
going?
lady.
Where you going?
Where you going? What are you for
Oh.
Christmas? Remember when he
I
brings
thought
her
it
in?
was the
I
guy
actually
who
don't
shakes your
remember.
hand, and when you touch him, he has a completely insignificant memory about what happened to you.
I remember that one too.
You will
even remember that
cross
one.
the street, and a car will drive by.
Yeah, I do remember that one
Okay.
too.
I thought you were going to talk about the Colonel Angus.
And Colonel Angus, yes. I love some
I
Colonel
do like
Angus.
the date rapist one, basically. Hey, where you going? Where you going? Where you going?
Yeah, the creepy date guy. Yeah, so, hey, where are you going? Yeah, where you see the point of view from his date side.
Yes.
Yes.
I think the
At least we can all agree that Christopher Walken is awesome.
Christopher Walken's it.
Yeah, I think the problem I couldn't put
greatest SNL
John Belushi
cast.
on my list was just his career was just too short,
It was too short.
and the stuff he did was all pretty much the same.
Thank you.
I mean,
gotcha.
but the stuff he did
okay.
was great. Well, at least the 2 movies and a handful of skits.
You know, one of the best.
I just could only come up with those 2 movies.
Yeah, but one of the best
Continental Divide was crappy.
Dan Aykroyd skits was the dirty Christmas gift salesperson. Hey, it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
bag of glass. Hey, what do you?
What?
It's a bag of Christmas gift for
blade.
kids. Here, it's a bag of
Plastic
glass.
bag. The plastic bag over the
The
head.
plastic bag over the head. Oh, what's wrong with that? He's the guy.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So,
Unfortunately, I think that was the best that Dan Aykroyd did.
Yeah,
that's probably
I've
the
never
best
been a
one
huge
that he
Dan
was.
Aykroyd fan.
I mean, that's the one thing I know. Everyone talks about how great the original cast are, and it's like, okay, you remember the great skits they did, but then when you go back and watch and you see the bad skits they did, there's as many bad skits then as there was at any time during the season, except maybe the 1985 year, with
Dark year.
the dark year with Robert Downey Jr.
So would you say if I swapped out John Belushi with, say, Steve Martin, that would be better?
He's not a cast member.
He was always a guest.
Yeah, other than the fact, he doesn't fit the cast member.
He wasn't a cast member at any point.
He was a wild and crazy guy.
He was a very frequent host.
Yeah. Yes.
But he was never in
I did not know that.
He was never an actual
He's
cast.
up there with
on my
Alec
list.
Baldwin and John Goodman as some of the most ass-back person.
Didn't they do?
I
they
wanted
did
to
a
put
skit
Justin
where all
Timberlake
who've
on
been
my
A
list,
guest for
but
more than 10 episodes
Yes.
or something like that.
The
They all
5-time
exclusive
club.
with smoking jackets. And
Yeah. It was
welcome.
the 5-time club.
And it became the 10-time club
Yeah.
because it
Did
got
it?
yeah.
Oh, because too many people were in the
Right,
I didn't see the 10-time club.
Yeah.
So
I think
it's
it was
pretty
Timberlake,
much
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
It's
Timberlake.
Timberlake joined the 10
Baldwin,
Steve Martin.
Steve
Martin Short was the waiter.
Yeah. Martin Short was a waiter. That was good.
Okay, we did have some answers or some guest ones. Dave, the producer, at Behind the Rant. My vote is for Norm Macdonald, aka Turd Ferguson.
incredibly funny guy.
Norm
Very
Macdonald.
limited in
Range.
Well, he's a great Colonel Sanders.
Right,
It's
he's solid
finger
chicken
looking
now.
good.
So you got fired.
yeah, and now it's
No, it's
that
somebody
white
else.
guy.
Somebody
It was
else's
Daryl
voice.
Hammond.
It was Daryl.
Daryl Hammond was first.
He was
isn't it?
first.
And now it's what's his name? That real
Jim Gaffigan.
Gaffigan.
No,
Thank you.
got
No, he's already been replaced. They have a new KFC, and it's the Colonel, and it's not his voice.
Huh. You know they're all going to fight soon.
That'd be awesome. That's great. That could be a skit.
Bobby H. Had who's cheating in the fantasy Hobie League.
What do you mean he's cheating? I beat him handily.
You know, all cheaters go to 1-1. Jason Sudeikis at number 5. Number 4 is Dana Carvey. Number 3 is Will Ferrell.
Ugh.
Number 2
Notice
is
how that made none of our lists.
Number 2 is Tina Fey. Number 1 was Bill Murray. Honorable mention: Chevy Chase and Eddie Murphy. Wow.
Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase has one.
He was pretty funny. He was the original news guy.
Yeah,
He set the standard for that.
Yeah.
but like Chevy Chase's good stuff is all doing the exact same thing.
This just in.
Clark Griswold.
Trouble in the Middle East.
MJ and the boys at MJ and the boys had Dark Horse candidate. Our friend and coworker Matthew Lawrence, who's all of our honorable mentions.
he was on our honorable mention.
So thank you for that. Let's see here. We also have the nerds at Jock and Nerd Podcast. Great show. They had John Belushi, Bill Murray, Eddie Murphy, Mike Myers, and Will Ferrell.
A Belushi fan. Thank you very much.
He's also a Will Ferrell fan, so
Will
that's where
Ferrell.
you're standing.
All right. Well, Ferrell was number 10 on my list, so.
Oh, I didn't even go that high. But then again, I had 5 people at number 5.
Yeah, I should have known better.
You got Dev.
Looks good on you.
on you.
Dev had Dan Aykroyd, Billy Crystal at number 4.
Billy Crystal is very, very talented.
3, Eddie Murphy. Number 2, he hobied that shit. He had Farley, Spade, and Sandler most of the 90-95 cast. Yeah. And number 1 was John Belushi. Doug, number 1 fan, had no particular order. Martin Short, Daryl Hammond, Phil Hartman, Dana Carvey, and I have to pick him, Joe Piscopo. So
Joe Piscopo was great in Johnny Dangerously.
My brothers always
Once.
loved Joe Piscopo, and then you look back at some of it, it's like, ooh, not so much. Like,
His Sinatra was pretty funny.
yeah.
Sinatra was dead on.
and Stevie Wonder singing.
Well, see, that fits the whole
that
like,
was really
talented
funny.
thing, you know? You're able to
was.
sing, you're able to, do all these other things.
Joe Keating had,
You're as blind as a bat.
in no particular order, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, Chevy Chase, Will Ferrell, and Sherry O'Terry.
I remember. Sherry O'Terry was kind of funny. I like Sherry O'Terry.
She was a cheerleader.
You think
Yes.
And that, and I don't even know what else she did because I
She had
hated the
she was-
cheerleaders so much.
she has so many smaller little things that kept the things together. You just think
She
about the
could-
cheerleader, which
I
I
know.
understand.
Which
I-
was a
that-
regular part
yeah.
for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just see the
So she's the
cheerleader.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus of the
Little
Julie
funny thing.
Louis-Dreyfus I almost
of
put
the
on my
90s,
list.
right? Because she kind of just glued it together.
Yeah,
Like,
I almost
never
put-
stood out.
Yeah, I almost put Julie Louis-Dreyfus on my list just because she went on to win Emmys in 3 different television
Yeah,
shows.
that's again. Hey, that's why she's on my honorable mention.
The
Very
one thing
talented.
about Joe Piscopo, he did not like Phil Hartman's take on Sinatra because Joe Piscopo always wanted to play him with some respect, like Joe Piscopo, like he was a
Right.
man's
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
and Phil Hartman played him as a drunk joke. and he never liked Phil Hartman because of that. That was a little interesting thing.
Yeah, Piscopo probably had that Italian
He's a
thing
fucking
going with
comedian.
him. Yeah,
Give him a break.
Yeah,
Well, it's still
and we're
Piscopo.
talking Sinatra like we need to pay respect to Sinatra.
Thank you.
He's a lounge singer that got popular.
Oh, wow.
He put a mafia hit on your ass.
He's dead, so he can't.
I'm gonna
Neither
leave.
can his son.
Oh.
I would like to leave Bob Studios by right now.
Chris Richardson at 365 Flicks Podcast says, I'm still going with Kevin James because reasons. Wait a minute. Kevin James can't be on there.
Well, that's what you
Kevin
told
James
him.
was an SNL man. Oh, you just got Hobie.
Hey, speaking of 365 wankers, I'm still waiting for their best voiceover man to give us a.
Kev is actually on
Give us a
vacation
voice.
this week.
Yeah.
I think he said next week it will be here.
All right.
Well, I don't know that. I'm just going to put that in his
Well, anything would be surprising, but we want their best voiceover man.
Their email.
Yeah,
His daughter.
That's right.
His email is since they're in the UK, and Kev is
It bounces back.
I think Kev is from Italy, so it takes an extra couple days to get over here.
It's the Italian internet.
Oh, it's all on the Fire Optics is all spaghetti noodles. Meatballs. Let's see here.
What the fuck is that?
Mark Bogner at Tangent Bound had Mike Myers, Dana Carvey, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Phil Hartman. So there you go. There is your Saturday Night Live top 5. Thanks for everybody that played.
Thanks for everybody who hobied that shit.
Yes. Dr. Bednar,
Hobie
thanks
that
for
shit.
coming in.
Hey,
Thank you.
for having me again.
Let's see. And bad idea of the week is number 19.
Number 19.
Trying to explore the Antarctic unaided
And solo.
and solo.
With Han Solo?
He wouldn't be unaided then.
That's true. And he'd have Tauntaun.
Oh, I'm going to be unaided. I'll show
He
them.
could at least hide inside his Tauntaun then.
I always take a tauntaun with you on the track.
And I thought they smelled bad on the outside. Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
From Walking Dead to Talking Heads, from comic books to TV sets, there's a history of not so bad. There's the history. It's the history of bad, so bad. The history of bad.